The ATL provides the backdrop to a celebration bringing together three pillars of strength at historically black colleges and universities. You want suspense? How about a celebration of the two best teams in HBCU going bowling once again for a national championship? You want pomp and circumstance? Then we have a celebration of the sights and sound of music. Oh, the music. You want fanatics? Well, then finally, it's a celebration of the fraternities and sororities. They're the backbone of the Greek system, dedicated to ensuring solidarity, fellowship, and progress. So you want it, you got it. To paraphrase Kool and the Gang, celebrate good times. Come on. The ATL provides the backdrop to a celebration bringing together three pillars of strength at historically black colleges and universities. You want suspense? How about a celebration of the two best teams in HBCU going bowling once again for a national championship? You want pomp and circumstance? Then we have a celebration of the sights and sound of music. Oh, the music. You want fanatics? Well, then finally, it's a celebration of the fraternities and sororities. They're the backbone of the Greek system, dedicated to ensuring solidarity, fellowship, and progress. So you want it, you got it. To paraphrase Kool and the Gang, celebrate good times. Come on.
Never seen a D lineman try to look pretty, man.
I know. I've been dealing with that. Look at the pocket square game.
Ready to start.
Welcome, everyone, to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl from Atlanta and Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Okay. Hey, Kim, is there going to be another logo come in?
Welcome everyone to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania from Atlanta, Georgia, Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
The ATL provides the backdrop to a celebration bringing together three pillars of strength at historically black colleges and universities. You want suspense? How about a celebration of the two best teams in HBCU going bowling once again for a national championship? You want pomp and circumstance? Then we have a celebration of the sights and sound of music. Oh, the music. You want fanatics? Well, then finally, it's a celebration of the fraternities and sororities that are the backbone of the Greek system, dedicated to ensuring solidarity, fellowship, and progress. Celebrate good times. Come on.
And kickoff just a few moments away. To break. Okay.
I think you got like one hair out of place. Hold on. I'm going to touch it.
Get out of here.
Oh, there you go. Now you're fine. Now you're fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. You got it.
Yeah. It's going down for real. Everybody have fun. Have a great show.
Be great.
Let's do it. Molly, Roddy, good luck today.
Oh, sorry. Mind the way.
Hey guys, how are you?
Yo, yo, yo. What up, Roddy?
I am directly across from you guys on about the 40-yard line. You see me? Yeah, I'm down here.
Left 40, right 40.
So what I'm basically going to say is
gotcha.
celebration's a perfect word for this because of
Right
the
below that all.
Hold on, sorry. We're trying to figure out this. Celebration's a perfect word for this bowl, not only because of the success of the teams on the field, but also the recognition of the culture off of it. Representatives of the Divine Nine, the rank and file, have come here to Atlanta today to be able to celebrate not only what they mean to college campuses, but also the service that they do off the field. All 9 international presidents for the Divine Nine, the 5 most prominent black fraternities and 4 most prominent black sororities are here today. And I'm surrounded by 7 of them, which is absolutely incredible. And the thing that they wanted us to know, the thing that they wanted to highlight the most was the fact that these are service organizations that are out with boots on the ground, affecting positively the lives of black people across the country. And then I'll go into the bands, just really briefly.
That's a good looking shot.
Okay, how tight do I need to be? How tight?
Yeah. Man.
Have a good
Welcome, everyone, to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania from Atlanta, Georgia, and Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The SWAC and the MEAC putting that unique flavor in your ears. The ATL provides the backdrop to a celebration bringing together three pillars of strength at historically black colleges and universities. You want suspense? How about a celebration of the two best teams in HBCU going bowling once again for a national championship? You want pomp and circumstance? Then we have a celebration of the sights and sound of music. Oh, the music. You want fanatics? Well, then finally, it's a celebration of the fraternities and sororities. They're the backbone of the Greek system, dedicated to ensuring solidarity, fellowship, and progress. So you want it, you got it. To paraphrase Kool and the Gang, celebrate good times. Come on.
Mania.
And welcome back, everyone, to Atlanta, the first of 36 bowl games on ABC and ESPN. It's simply put the Black College National Championship. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, Jay Walker, Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath, Roddy Jones down in the field joining us in just a bit. Jay, when you look at this game, in the big picture, it has evolved into something extremely unique and special.
Yeah, for those of us that played HBCU football, we knew we stood on the shoulders of legends. Guys like Coach Eddie Robinson, Jake Gaither, and Bob Hayes. And then you had the generation with the Doug Williams and the Walter Payton that expanded the product. The Celebration Bowl is a culmination of a game that's been played in the dark for so many years, finally getting its rightful place on a national stage.
And some talented players on the field today, Dusty. When you look at this matchup, some real good offense versus defense look.
Yeah, and it starts with me for NCA&T, the defensive end, Daryl Johnson, a fantastic player, 6'5", 240, NFL potential all over him, the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to try to be chasing Noah Johnson, the quarterback of the SWAC champion Alcorn State team.
Okay, and Alcorn State won the kick, won the toss. They defer to the second half. A&T going to receive. They take it out first down and 10 at the 25-yard line. Nice return and out to the 30. Oh, he's going. Oh, he's gone. Oh, okay.
Are you going to give me a shot of either of those players? Oh, sorry.
Okay. All right, right now let's go to welcome back. And Molly McGrath covering the machinations of the player movements down to the field. Roddy Jones with the special cultural vibrations. Who are we starting off with, Kim? Molly, what do you got?
Well, Aggies quarterback Lamar Reynard told me this game is going to be emotional for him, Mark. He told me this may not just be my last college football game. This could be the last time I'm playing football, period. His head coach, Sam Washington, told me Reynard's entering this game with a little extra fire today. The 2017 Offensive Player of the Year didn't even make the MEAC's first team this postseason, so he's feeling a little disrespected. And then Lamar going to put on a show because he has something to prove today.
Reynard.
Okay, you want it shorter? Okay. Renard or...
Is Molly going straight to Roddy? Okay, okay. And then Roddy? Okay. Gotcha.
Coach Washington told me that.
This is Capital One Bowl Mania.
And welcome back, everyone, to Atlanta. A&T taking on Alcorn State, the first of 36 bowl games on ABC and ESPN, culminating January 7th with the College Football Playoff National Championship. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones, chopping it up with Jay Walker, Dusty Dvorak, Molly McGrath, Roddy Jones down to the field. Jay, when you look at this game in its entirety, big picture, historically, it's involved to something very special.
Yeah, those of us that played HBCU football know we played on the shoulders of legends. Guys like Coach Eddie Robinson, the Doug Williams, and the Walter Paytons of the war. This game right here is a culmination of all those years of hard work. A game that was played in the dark, getting its rightful place in history where it belongs on a national platform.
And Dusty, when you look at the matchup, offense versus defense, it's really interesting with some talented guys on the field.
We got two of the best in all the HBCU, Johnson and Johnson. Daryl Johnson for A&T defensively, one of the best pass rushers in all the HBCU. First, the defensive player of the year, the MEAC. On the other side, Noah Johnson, the offensive player of the SWAC this year. He's been electric for this Alcorn State offense.
All right, Alcorn winning the toss, deferring to the second half. A&T will receive, and we are underway in the fourth edition of the Celebration Bowl. Malik Wilson on the return. He's got 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns this year, but he's brought down to the 35-yard line. We are celebrating on both sides of the field. Molly McGrath has the player stories and insights. Roddy Jones with the cultural vibrations. Molly, what do you got?
Well, Aggies quarterback Lamar Reynard told me that today's game is going to be emotional for him, saying this isn't just my last college football game. This could be my last time playing football ever. Now, his head coach, Sam Washington, told me before the game, Reynard is going to have a little extra fire today. The 2017 Offensive Player of the Year didn't make the MEAC's first team this postseason. He said Lamar is going to put on a show because he has something to prove.
Man, nothing like being passed over for postseason awards to light a fire under a player. First down and 10. Bernard completes his first pass out to the 42-yard line to Elijah Bell. Roddy Jones, what's up?
Well, Mark, you can't talk about the Celebration Bowl without talking about the celebration of the culture as well, and the black fraternities and sororities that are represented here today, known as the Divine Nine. The 5 fraternities and 4 sororities that are the most prominent in the black community are all represented. I'm surrounded by 7 of the 9 international presidents that have come here to show support and really to provide service to the community, which is the #1 thing that these organizations do.
Yeah, the Divine Nine descending on Atlanta for this wonderful weekend by the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl officials. A show of service. A loss of 3 on that last play sets up a 3rd down and 5 for A&T. They've been going quick on the first couple of plays. 2-by-2 formation here. Bernard out of the backfield, complete to Cartwright. And Cartwright picks up the first down and then some. Cartwright brought down finally at the 15-yard line. And what a move he put on Brady Smith. A 45-yard gain on the play.
Fantastic execution here on the screenplay. You know the pass rush is coming. Great teams make the simple plays work effectively. Great job by Cartwright getting downfield. Matthews, the right tackle, getting in the way for the big play for the Aggies.
A guy that's had back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons. This is Martin in for Cartwright, and he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage by Brady Smith. One more look at that nice run by Cartwright.
And Cartwright's had a fantastic season, over 1,000 yards. Once again, makes 8 times in 9 years for A&T. They've had a 1,000-yard rusher. I like his power. I also like his ability to make guys miss in the open field. Spectacular senior season by Marquell Cartwright this year.
First team all MEAC this year. From the 17-yard line, 2nd and 12. They bring in Hollingsworth, the fullback. Bernard over the middle, caught, touchdown, Leslie. Zachary Leslie beating Morrison on the play for the touchdown.
We heard Molly say that Raynard was going to play with the chip on his shoulder today, and Coach Sam Washington said, we're going to give him the ability to win this football game. We're going to put the game in his hands, and the quarterback delivered on the first drive, Dusty.
Absolutely. An RPO, they're going to throw the slant to Leslie on the inside. He gets in pie position, fights for the football, and A&T on the board early here in the ATL.
That's the 9th touchdown catch of the season for Zachary Leslie. Tall receiver at 6'3", used all of it to make that grab.
Like the strong hands there, Jay, by the receiver, Zachary Leslie, who's been a pleasant surprise for this football team. That's a contested ball. Nice job by Javen Morrison, but strong hands, and Leslie's able to corral the reception and complete the touchdown.
Boy, you couldn't have scripted a better start for Sam Washington, the head coach of A&T. 9-2 this year, 6-1 in the MEAC. A team that's proven to be resilient all season long. Raynard on that drive, by the way, was 3 for 3, 70 yards passing.
I mean, sometimes the scouting report is accurate, and Coach Washington said, we're going to let Raynard do it, and first thing that Raynard does, he responds. Molly talked about that in her opening hit. This game for North Carolina A&T is going to be determined by their senior leader. And when you've got a quarterback that's only lost 2 games his whole career, put it in his hands on game day.
Absolutely. He is a winner, and he's going to step up and rise to the occasion in big games like today. I love the call on 3rd down, going back, the 3rd and 5, the screen. This is an Alcorn State defense. It gets up the field, gets vertical. Use that against them as a fantastic play call and execution.
On the return from the 12-yard line, that's Simmons. And P.J. Simmons brought down a flag down at the 23-yard line. That flag coming in a little bit late.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team, number 49. 10-yard penalty from the end of the return, 1st down.
Let's go down to Molly for more on Raynard.
Well, Jay was just talking about it. Right after that touchdown pass, Raynard went over to his head coach, Sam Washington. He said, I told you I was going to come out hot. So he is playing with all the confidence in the world early in this game, guys.
He's telling Coach Washington, let me keep spinning.
And the last thing you want is a confident quarterback.
Oh, man. I thought he played his best game against Central. His last time out, I thought that this team really, A&T, they played all 3 phases at their peak performance, and really I was just blown away by Lamar Raynard. He's picking up right where he left off from that MEAC championship.
Well, now we get a look at his counterpart, guys. Noah Johnson, the 6-foot junior from Tampa, Florida. 1st down and 10. Chips one in, incomplete. Broken up nicely by Amir McNeil, defending on the play. Well, there's one of the more prominent names in HBCU football, Fred McNair, in his 3rd season as head coach.
The older brother of Steve McNair, legendary Steve Air McNair. He was the first Air McNair. People don't know that Steve McNair was heir to McNair. He was the second. Fred was a good quarterback in his own right, played in the Arena Football League, and can't say Alcorn without thinking about a McNair somewhere on the football field.
No doubt, great lineage of that family at that school. 2nd down and 10 from the 14. Johnson tries to run it in the boundary after faking the handoff. Nowhere to go.
And Noah Johnson, man, he has been a weapon this year as a runner, averaging 7.4 yards a carry. He's quick, he's shifty, and watch out in the open field, a dangerous weapon for this Alcorn State football team.
Well, he was tackled by the other Johnson that you talked about in the open a moment ago, Daryl Johnson, on that last play. So that's going to be one of the nice matchups here throughout the afternoon. A loss of 1. There's a look at Daryl, number 40. Imposing 6'5", 235 on the end. On 3rd and 11. Johnson flushed out, zipped it incomplete. Should have been caught at the 27-yard line. But Daryl Johnson, in hot pursuit once again, forced him out of the pocket on the run.
That was a nice job right there by Noah Johnson, feeling the pressure coming from the outside, stepping up, and then he finds his target, 81, Rodarius Anderson, slightly thrown inside behind him, but that's a play, Jay, that I think the receiver needs to come up with. Noah Johnson evades the rush, keeps the play alive. Receiver can't help him out.
Help out your quarterback, and I wanted to see that. Obvious pass situation. Would Alcorn State be able to protect Noah Johnson? The Aggies got there, but Johnson wasn't there, able to escape, so that's going to be the matchup we watch for.
McCullough punting. Leslie watches it bounce.
And A&T is going to have great starting field position on their second drive of the football game. This was the key run on that scoring drive. They lead 7-0 when we return.
Seven 0 North Carolina A&T over Alcorn State here at the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. And we talked about the Divine Nine in the open. The question is, who are the Divine Nine? These are the 5 fraternities and 4 sororities that make up the most prominent Black Greek letter organizations across the country. You can see many of them over 100 years old, and many of them founded at your alma mater, Jay, Howard University. How'd you get off the yard without pledging?
Hey, man, it goes with that. It all starts and ends at Howard. I've been telling y'all that for a long time now. It's just the alpha and the omega.
Okay.
It's Howard University, the Mecca. That's all my only Howard reference for the game.
That's where it starts and ends, according to our guy. This is Martin. A nice sprint into the boundary and finally pushed out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
I love Micah Shaw, 70-80. He's the offensive lineman of the year in the MEAC this year, and a big reason why they've been able to run the football so effectively is him. Watch him set the edge and allow Martin to get outside. Micah Shaw is going to come around, just get a piece of that linebacker. He comes inside. Nice job by Martin following his blocker and getting to the outside perimeter for a nice run.
Pickup of 18 yards and a first down. From the 30. Look at the fullback Hollingsworth in there, leading the way again for Martin. This time, not as much success. Brought down right at the line of scrimmage by Brady Smith. This Alcorn State defense led FCS in sacks this year with 51.
Hold on, Mark Jones. They didn't just lead the FCS in sacks.
Okay.
They led Division II in sacks, Division III in sacks, all levels of college football. They take pride in that. Their defensive coordinator, Segra Thorne, said nobody gets after a quarterback better than us on any level. They need that to show up today.
On second down and 10. They bring a little heat off the edge and incomplete. Bernard missing, intended for Malik Wilson. Hey, we'll have 3 more, folks. That's right, bowl games for you today. Coming up next, number 21 Fresno State squaring off against Herm Edwards and Arizona State in the Mitsubishi Motors Las Vegas Bowl over on ESPN 530. It's Georgia Southern Eastern Michigan in the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl, and at 9, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl from the Superdome. Middle Tennessee quarterback Brent Stockhill plays his final game for his dad against Appalachian State.
All 3 games also live on the ESPN app, so you can watch the game anywhere. 3rd down and 10. Bernard flushed out of the pocket. Pass incomplete. Blanket coverage and nowhere to go. Jalen Thomas covering Malik Wilson to break it up. And it's 4th down and 10.
Would not be surprised to see A&T go for it here on 4th down with the lack of support in their kicking game. Coach Washington said if we don't get the ball in great field position, we'll go for it on 4th down.
Excellent coverage in the back end there by Alcorn. They go man-to-man with 2 high safeties, run stride for stride. Outstanding job with the pass breakup by Jalen Thomas to force 4th down. Great call by you, Jay. Sure looks like they're going to elect to go for it here on 4th and 10.
Markel Cartwright in the backfield. Coach Washington not showing a lot of confidence in his place kicking game, led by Noel Ruiz. And look at this, a little pooch kick. Dribbles all the way down to the 4-yard line. So that worked out pretty well for the Aggies.
Great call. Take advantage of the field position in this game here, defensive-minded coach.
Bernard, a man of many talents, a 26-yard pooch punt. 1st and 10 the other way when we return.
Celebration Bowl on ABC is brought to you by Air Force Reserve. Start your adventure with the Air Force Reserve. And in part by Wells Fargo, helping more families share holiday meals. The Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl on ABC is brought to you by Air Force Reserve. Start your adventure with the Air Force Reserve. And in part by Wells Fargo, helping more families share holiday meals.
Well, Wednesday, both conference champs were welcomed to Atlanta with a dinner at the Georgia Aquarium Oceans Ballroom. The aquarium, the only aquarium in the Western Hemisphere, folks, to house whale sharks, the largest known extant fish species. So the guys can get a little oceanography study,
I'm a quarterback, so I'm smart enough to stay away from the sharks. Something tells me, Dusty, you would get in that water with those sharks.
I'm going to try to wrestle a shark, absolutely.
1st down and 10. This is Waller. Molly?
Well, Mark, after A&T's last defensive stand, coaches telling the D-line, use your hands to create separation because they can't block us on movement because they're not as athletic as us. Daryl Johnson absolutely dripping with confidence, Jonesy, telling his teammates they cannot block me.
Wow. Letting everybody know, Molly, it sounds like down there.
He's one of the most feared defensive linemen in all the HBCU and FCS. The MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. Long, athletic, outstanding first step in his get-off.
On 2nd and 7. Over the middle. Johnson complete, but there's a flag down on the play. And they're going to rule it incomplete now. Intended for Anderson.
The question I still want to know, Are they going to be able to protect Noah Johnson? That's not a good sign when your quarterback is getting up off the turf. The pressure's been there. He's under a lot of stress in the backfield.
Yeah, that was Justin Cates applying the pressure up front for A&T. It looks like
Rodarius
Anderson still on the field. He was the intended receiver on that last play.
Big receiver, 6'5", almost 200 pounds. Been a nice weapon for this Alcorn State offense this season.
Yeah, they got some long targets, those receivers on the outside. Here's
Offside.
the call.
Defense. Defensive line lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, second down.
That always makes it a little faster and easier to get to the quarterback, I guess, huh? Dusty, I'm sure you've done that a couple times, huh?
What do they say? If you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough. You got to get every bit of the football you can, but definitely have to be backed up so you're not over the ball. So Noah Johnson's already taken second shot here today. Yeah.
When they land on you, that's what hurts. The hit as a quarterback, you can absorb the blow, but when you land on them with 300 pounds, it's just grown man landing on somebody using the quarterback as a sponge. That's what hurts.
It's one of my favorite things about playing defensive line is that I got to do that to quarterbacks. No doubt.
And Rodarius Anderson still being tended to by the Alcorn State athletic training staff, and good to see him be able to get up off the field as we take a closer look at the school, Alcorn State, down in Mississippi. Originally established as a school for only black males in 1871, and 95 women allowed admission. Steve McNair, Medgar Evers, the famous civil rights activist. Donald Driver. Hey, and Alexander O'Neal, folks, if you haven't heard his Christmas Carol CD, you got to get it. Outstanding. It's for the season. 2nd and 2. And that's Waller. And he has enough for the first down. This is a big weekend for Waller. He's got some 25, 30 people. He told me yesterday at walkthrough they're coming to watch him play. He's from the Atlanta area.
And he's special. He's an edge-of-your-seat type runner. Came in and replaced DeLance Turner, who's now playing in the NFL for the Baltimore Ravens. Waller's that guy. When he gets going, he's a difference maker, a home run hitter at the running back position.
Newcomer of the year this year in the SWAC. He's had 100 yards in 6 of his last 7 games. He had a massive game in the SWAC championship. $177 on the ground and 3 touchdowns. So, no doubt, Waller definitely a home run hitter for this offense.
Johnson completes it, and a first down out to the 32-yard line to Juan Anthony Jr. His 30th catch of the season, that one good for a first down, and they protected the quarterback that time, Jay.
They protected him, and back to basics. Just a simple 5-yard out route, let Noah Johnson establish some rhythm and timing, get comfortable in the pocket.
1st and 10, they're going to run it between the tackles. Waller again. This game a rematch of the 2015 inaugural edition of the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. A game won by A&T by 7 points.
The best matchup of this game for me coming into it, it's this rushing attack of Alcorn, who goes for over 280 yards a game, 8th best in the FCS, against this rush defense of A&T, best in all the FCS. And that's a staple of Coach Washington's defense since he's been here. They stop out the run.
Darrell Johnson there on the end. They run it his way. Chris Blair has a first down and into A&T territory. Darden finally making the tackle on the play.
I love the call. If you can't run in between the tackles against a team that's designed to give up, not give up the rushing yards, get them on the edge, attack the perimeter, make the cornerbacks and the safety get involved in the running game. I like the play selection by Ryan Stanchek, offensive coordinator from Alcorn State.
Johnson kept it that time, brought down by Cates and Blue up front. A great story about Noah Johnson, the fact that out of high school, not a lot of offers coming his way from Division I schools that wanted him to play quarterback. He said, no, I'm going to play quarterback, and Alcorn State was the winner in his recruitment. He turned down FIU and FAU. Felix Harper now in at quarterback for the Braves. 5'11" sophomore. Little lefty completes his first pass, and not much gain, a loss of a few on the play out of the backfield. That was Waller. Chopped down by Antoine Wilder, but there's a flag down.
Nice open field tackle there by Antoine Wilder. This could be This could be a high-low here on the inside. Who's on the right side of the offensive line could be Darius Davis, Kevin Hall. Like one of the offensive linemen may have been engaged.
There is no foul on the play. The result of the play brings up 3rd down.
Hey, Molly, Noah Johnson really embracing that underdog role coming out of high school, huh?
Yeah, that's right. He's often been criticized for his height, and we saw some interesting tweets from him this week. He tweeted, "They measured my height and weight, but they never measured my heart." So obviously criticism of his height put a chip on his shoulder, as you said, but he's proven people wrong. And when Kyler Murray won the Heisman, he tweeted, "This is for the short quarterbacks out there." He's also a big fan of Russell Wilson. Both quarterbacks also under 6 feet, and they've found tremendous success, Mark.
Yeah, he's a real winner out of Tampa, Florida. Played for one of the great programs in that city. Pass complete over the middle. That's Johnson, Tavares Johnson. And another flag down back at the 45-yard line. Johnson, another one of those lanky, lean receivers at 6'3", 185 for the Braves.
Nice job of the A&T defense. So they're going to play a little soft zone, sit back, and they only allow an underneath crossing route there to Johnson. And they rally up and tackle. Nice job tackling in the open field.
Got a player shaken up there. That's Sam Blue for A&T.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 96. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
That's going to go against Sam Blue. And that gives Alcorn State a 1st down. And Blue also a little nicked up on the play. 6'1" senior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. So Alcorn State will have it 1st down and 10 from the 41-yard line. The Braves looking and searching for atonement against A&T, having lost back in 2015 in this very game. This, the Black College National Championship game.
It's a big call on 3rd and 15.
Oh, that's costly
Man,
right there.
huge penalty.
Kept the offense on the field. They hand it off on 1st down. Great move by Waller. And he picks up another 1st down. Got 11 yards on the play.
How about the patience here by Deshaun Waller? Nothing's there initially. Little stutter step allows his interior of his offensive line to get on their blocks. Nice job by 76. Ibrahim, 75. Darius Davis. A tough run there by Waller.
Takes it into the boundary, cuts it upfield, and nowhere to go. Tackled for a gain of about 1 on the play. Keandrick Richardson making the stop.
Get a good look there at offensive coordinator Ryan Stanchek, and for him, he's got to play ahead of the chains. That 1st down play, you can't get 1 yard and expect to have success. So the key is going to be, can they establish some type of control of the line of scrimmage to get the running game going? It's been hit or miss so far.
I love what he said to us on the call this week. He said, "I love now that I'm calling plays because I can run the ball whenever I want to." Just what you'd expect out of a former offensive lineman at West Virginia.
Simmons in the backfield on the 10th play of this Alcorn State drive. Johnson completes it, and still on his feet, it's Anthony Jr. Finally brought down inside the 15-yard line, and the Braves continue to move the sticks. A gain of 16.
That's the 2nd time now on this drive we've seen excellent timing route, a quick out on the outside to Juan Anthony. Good rhythm for Noah Johnson.
This is Simmons running the ball, and that guy you saw on the sideline a moment ago with the headsets on was Pat White. Speaking of West Virginia, former prolific quarterback, spent some time in the NFL with the Miami Dolphins, now part of the coaching staff for Coach McNair at Alcorn State.
Can't believe I'm saying this. Pat White might have been slightly ahead of his time. Now with the spread offense that you have today and everything, if you were playing in today's college football, his numbers would be phenomenal. Possibly in the NFL might have translated a little bit better as well.
A couple of former teammates on the same team at West Virginia. And if you have forgotten how good Pat White was, we got some video evidence, folks. He was the truth. Set a lot of records up in Morgantown. Timeout on the field here in Atlanta. We'll be right back after this. Costa Rica.
7-0 here at the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. North Carolina A&T on top. And guys, when you come to an HBCU game, halftime is showtime. And we've got a ranked, unranked matchup. North Carolina A&T is the #7 ranked band in the country by our people over at the Undefeated, facing off against the Sounds of Dynamite, the Alcorn State Band. And the drum majors told me they pay attention to stuff like that. And this is not just a national championship game for the guys on the field. This is their opportunity to show that they belong amongst the top bands in the country.
I'm looking for the upset today, guys. I don't know about you. I'm with the Sounds of Dynamite. I am not going to the media room. I'm going to stick around and check that out. Between the tackles again, Waller running it and picking up about 3 yards on the play.
Let me give you some advice.
Hit me.
Do not declare who wins the Battle of the Bands. It's a no-win situation. Yeah, just enjoy the show.
They're going to light us up on social media
Yes,
if they do?
will.
Okay. I don't need that kind of trouble. Part of the great pageantry in the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. Ball is on the 8-yard line. 3:46 to go here in the first quarter.
Trying to be something you think with a run-pass option for the quarterback, right? At third and medium situation.
Johnson didn't have much help and tackled at the 12-yard line by Richie Kittles. So 4th down coming up.
We were told yesterday by Coach Washington that Richie Kittles, their most athletic safety. They moved him from free safety. He's playing their rover now. He can really run. A nice job in the open field getting Noah Johnson on the ground. It's one guy on the outside, and you see Kittles, he keeps contained, and he gets Noah Johnson to the turf. Outstanding job tackling in the open field.
Corey McCullough on the field attempting this field goal from 29 yards out. He's 14 of 22 on the season. And he knocks that one through to make it a 7-3 football game. So Alcorn State gets some points out of the drive. Johnson brought down on that key 3rd down conversion.
And it won't show up in the stat sheet, but Daryl Johnson forced Noah Johnson to pull that ball quickly. So as a quarterback, you're taught, hey, if you sense any type of collision, somebody gets beat, tuck it and run. It was the penetration by Daryl Johnson. He won't get credit for a tackle for loss, but he got there so quick, he forced Noah Johnson's hands, and Johnson just couldn't get away from Richie Kittles.
That's a big-time tackle because Noah Johnson, not an easy guy to get to the turf when it's you and him one-on-one with a lot of open grass out in front.
Yeah, watched him in that game against Southern, and he was nearly unstoppable. 7-3, A&T with the lead. Well, you look at the history of HBCU football, just going back over some of the great names yesterday. There's a look at one of the more dangerous returners in the conference, maybe in the country. Malik Wilson has 3 returned for touchdowns, but he put it on the ground after being hit. A&T recovers, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. I started to talk about some of the greats of HBCU football. Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, Buck Buchanan, Willie Lanier, Michael Strahan, Jackie Slater. I mean, and that's just from the SWAC right there.
Somebody's been doing their homework. That was my list right there. We talked about it, got everybody started. I left off some great names. I mean, left off Willie Richardson, who was fantastic. Charlie Joyner.
Who was 18,
outstanding.
yeah.
James Shaq Harris, the first African-American to play quarterback in the NFL to start a game. Jackie Slater. Michael Strahan.
Great lineage coming out of these leagues. Up top, wide open, and incomplete at the 42. Bell couldn't get under it. Renard threw it just a touch too far.
This is what you have to have there. They leave you the middle field wide open, put a little air under it, and Elijah Bell gave a fantastic effort trying to pull in this ball. He's a physical guy. You got to get a hand on him. Comes up in coverage, and that's when, as a quarterback, you wish you just had it back. You had more room for error than that.
Yeah, you got to be able to hit Elijah Bell when he breaks open down the sidelines the way that he did right there. And that was a problem for Alcorn in the championship game, getting beat over the top.
Bernard has a man wide open again, caught at the 45. Hicklin on his feet and brought down to the 43-yard line. Isaiah Hicklin, the 6-foot senior, tackled by Morrison.
Love this play call right here. 3-level throw. You've got short, intermediate throw, then the 2nd-level throw. So after the play action, they get peeking in the backfield, delivers a strike, and that's a little bit more of a swag, making up for that previous missed throw. Lamar Reynard may be starting to find his groove again.
Nice job on the move. They rolled the pocket slightly to the right, and he finds his target in stride.
A 33-yard pickup, 1st and 10, approaching 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Cartwright. There'll be a loss of maybe 1 on the play by Marquell Cartwright. Of course, we talked about the story a little bit earlier. He and Renard, former high school teammates. They've known each other since the 9th grade, won a high school state title together, decided to come to A&T together. And boy, this senior class has done a lot of great things for the Aggies. Another handoff and nowhere to go. Cartwright stoned at the line of scrimmage. Sterling Shippey, the first one to arrive.
Well, we love this guy. We had a chance to talk with him during the week. We saw him yesterday. Sterling Shippey on the inside. Excellent defensive tackle. Watch him get the full lockout inside. Sheds the block and then makes the play. And he's working on Micah Shaw. That's a fantastic matchup. One of the best in the SWAC. And Shippey, and one of the best in the MEAC, and Micah Shaw. Shippey won that one for a nice tackle for loss.
A great matchup. 3rd and long. Bernard incomplete at the 30-yard line. A lot of traffic around Cartwright. There were 2-3 guys around him.
You got to find someplace else to go with the football in that situation. More purple jerseys than white jerseys, but great penetration by Terry Whittington coming off the edge, forcing Reynard to get rid of that football a little bit more sooner than he'd like.
He's misfired on his last 4 attempts. Of course, one of them just by inches. Could have been a touchdown. And in meanwhile, comes Michael Rivers to punt. Ely standing at his own 10-yard line. Time winding down here in the first quarter. In the rematch between A&T and Alcorn State. Well, they weren't able to down it inside the 5. It'll come back out on the 45-yard punt.
And you got to give credit to Alcorn State, what they were able to do. I think A&T came out here established. We're the defending champions. We've been the #1 team in black college football for a while. Came down, scored right away. But Alcorn seemed to have figured them out a little bit, slowed down the offense, put some points on the board, and they've taken that early knockout blow from North Carolina A&T, and they're still right here in this game.
What I like is defensively, Alcorn, they give up the touchdown initially, and they've given up some yards in the other 2 drives, but they've been, and they haven't broke, right? Yep. They put their backs against the wall, and they've gotten off the field on crucial 3rd downs.
1st and 10 from the 20. Johnson hits his receiver on a quick slant at the 31. Molly?
Mark, Alcorn's wide receiver, Rodarius Anderson, is being evaluated for a head injury. He's going through concussion protocol right now. He is questionable to return.
Anderson, a big part of their offense. He led the team with 502 receiving yards coming into the game this afternoon. And that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. The Braves and the Aggies, part 2. The remix, the rematch from 2015. When we come back, we'll talk about the enmity between these 2 conferences. Back after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
And welcome back, everyone, to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, the start of the second quarter. A&T scored on their opening drive, but haven't since. Alcorn State with possession of the football to start the second quarter here. From the 31. Up top. Intended for Johnson, but well covered down the sidelines. We talk about the history of these two conferences. You played in the MEAC. There's that edgy relationship with the SWAC. I mean, talk to us about that.
I mean, it's different. You know, the MEAC, we like to say we win football games between the trenches. In the SWAC, what do they want to do? That's the home of Jerry Rice and everybody else. They want to score deep touchdowns, strike up the band, and get the party going. Right. So it's different style of play.
There's a little disdain in your voice
so
when you said that.
So you trying to say the MEAC's tougher than the SWAC? Is that what you said, Jay?
I'm just saying, in the trenches, that's traditionally been the way it goes.
Okay.
But skill position, like I said, we don't have Donald Driver and Jerry Rice, all those guys there. So the SWAC, it's a style of play there. It's a lot of finesse, but it's gotten tougher. Alcorn's really done a good job of becoming a more physical team. That's why I think they're able to match up with one of the more physical teams in all of FCS football today.
27 former players inducted into the Hall of Fame from those conferences. If I was from the SWAC, I'd almost call you a hater.
I've been called that before. So it goes with the territory.
That's a staggering number.
Yes.
27 former players in the Pro Football Hall of Fame from the SWAC and the MEAC. Wow. It's impressive, man.
3rd down and 7 coming up. Simmons in the backfield. Brown fires, complete, but short of the first down. His forward progress is going to be marked at the 37. Johnson, well covered by Antoine Wilder, ends up picking up 3 on the play. And in comes the punting unit. That A&T defense stout on that drive.
Listen, excellent job in coverage here. You're going to see the nickelback jump the route, try to go for the interception, but the big key here for me, Jay, able to get the receiver on the ground.
Absolutely. You make them throw it short, you have to make the tackle, get the punt team on the field.
McCullough gets off a great punt. It drives Leslie all the way back to the 13. And he's tackled at the 19-yard line. A 6-yard return on that 50-yard punt. And there's a flag down right at midfield. And it looked like Corey McCullough got drilled in that area. Tell you what, you're a punter running down on coverage. You got to keep your head on a swivel.
Head on
right?
a swivel. You know what? This is something coming into this game. I said if Alcorn can make it ugly, a lot of penalty flags all over the field, they got a chance to really pull off this win.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. North Carolina A&T, number 33. Penalty is half the distance to the goal from the end of the return. That is number 33's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
That infraction against Bethea. Here's what's at stake. A national championship and that good shiny stuff. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. A look inside the College Football Hall of Fame just down the street here. And some wonderful exhibits and a lot of great memorabilia, wonderful things to see if you get a chance to roll through there. First down and 10. And Martin with the carry, nowhere to go. And let's go down to Roddy, standing by with Dennis Thomas, the commissioner of the MEAC.
Well, Dr. Thomas, you have an interesting background. You played at Alcorn State. You're the commissioner of the MEAC, so who are you rooting for today?
Well, that's a no-brainer for me. I'm rooting for North Carolina A&T State University.
Well, you have a unique relationship to this game, having been on both sides, but what does this game mean to HBCU football as a whole?
We get an opportunity to showcase HBCU football, both conferences, the SWAC and the MEAC, to show the world that we have a tremendous product, we have a tremendous legacy, and now on ABC Live, the world get a chance to witness that.
Now, I can't let you off that easy because the people at Alcorn State are going to be a little upset with what you just said. Tell the truth. I mean, do you have an Alcorn shirt on underneath there?
No, I don't. I do have an Alcorn heart. But also, I think that one must realize who you work for is very important. And so Alcorn is an outstanding institution. But today, it's North Carolina A&T. In addition to that, tomorrow, I still love Alcorn. But I want to extend to John Grant, who is the executive director of the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. He lost his mother yesterday, and I just want to extend to him and his family our condolences, and our best wishes goes out to him and his family.
We would all like to echo those sentiments to John Grant. Dr. Thomas, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks a lot, Roddy. Dr. Grant.
And if I could, I'd say John Grant, this was his baby. You know, really grew this game, brought in the atmosphere, all the things they do outside that. So prayers going out to John Grant and his family there.
From the 17-yard line, it's 4th down and 3 now. A difficult set of circumstances for John Grant, the executive director. And our thoughts and prayers out to him and his family. On the return, this is Ely. Great downfield coverage. All the way back at the 25-yard line by Derek Williams on the 51-yard punt. From all of us at ESPN, we pray that God's hands get laid on John Grant and his family in this very trying time, losing his mother yesterday under some very tragic circumstances. Alcorn 1st and 10 from the 26. Waller in the backfield. Noah Johnson still trying to hit his stride a little bit here. That one almost picked off, broken up nicely by Antoine Wilder. Broken up, great beat on that ball by Wilder, who's a transfer from South Carolina.
Excellent job by Antoine Wilder reading the quarterback's eyes. Zone coverage, he gets to his point, he gets his head back inside. An outstanding job getting in the throwing lane by Antoine Wilder. We were told by Sam Washington, the head coach and defensive coordinator, the best linebacker they have, blown away with a guy who got here over the summertime, how quickly he picked up the defense and how well he's played all season.
Little pressure coming, they run it up to the 30-yard line. That was Waller. Jake, are you surprised that this is the low-scoring game that it is so far?
No, both defenses, you know, are established. They're the best in their conference for a reason. They say defenses win championship. That's why they're here. But I'm not necessarily surprised because I think the teams have to settle down a little bit. I thought A&T hit their stride early. Alcorn rebounded. Well, now teams are getting into a groove and they're starting to know their opponent, who they're not really that familiar with. And it's going to become an interesting ball game.
Looking at 3rd down and 7 for Johnson.
One thing on a 3rd down, you have to be cognizant as a pass rusher, keeping contained on a guy like Noah Johnson.
Under duress, escapes from the pocket, lunging for the 1st down, and looks like he got it. Let's see where they spot the ball. Artavius Richardson finally brought him down, but he moves the chains on that 7-yard run.
Got to keep good pass rush lanes with a guy like Noah Johnson. Not only do you have to worry about him breaking, containing, getting outside, but you got to keep a good 2-by-2 pass rush continuity on the inside so that you can alleviate any rush lanes. Nothing down the field. Noah Johnson under some pressure navigates and picks up a quality 1st down.
Johnson fires a little bit high on that quick slant intended for Tavares Johnson, the 6'3" junior. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Dusty, and you talked about contain. Before the play was snapped, you said you got to watch it contain. How do you concentrate on a 300-pound offensive lineman in front of you and then find a little small 5'9" quarterback in the pocket?
It's what you got to do, man. That's what you're charged with as a defensive lineman. Deal with the man in front of you, but you have to do it under control. You get out of control and just get up the field. A guy like Noah Johnson is going to make you pay, beat your man, be under control, and be able to make a play on the quarterback.
On 2nd and 10. Hand it off to Waller, and Waller picked up about 2.5 yards on the play. 3rd down coming up. Hey, Saturday, December 29th, we'll kick off one of the biggest college football days at noon Eastern with a Chick-fil-A Bowl between number 10 Florida right here against number 7 Michigan at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. The Gators are 0-4 all time against the Wolverines. This one's on ESPN and the ESPN app, so you can watch the game anywhere. Coach Dan Mullen's 1st year on the sidelines. The Gator Nation going to travel well here to Atlanta like they usually do. 3rd down and 8. Brown fires, picked off. They got a beat on that one. Abram. And tackled at the 27-yard line. The first turnover of the ball game goes to A&T.
This was a great break on the ball by Abram. You know what he did? He ran around the curl pattern, something that's very hard to do. At the top of the route, when the ball's released, you have the ability to see him run around it. That's the pass rush there, but watch him come outside in around the wide receiver on a fantastic interception.
Well, some people loved it and some hated it. You can tell which one there.
Alcorn fans not liking it. That was a quality rush inside. Justin Cates put a nice move on the guard, pressured Noah Johnson, forced the early throw, but you nailed it, man. Abram with a tremendous break on the football and a big-time takeaway here midway through the second.
And that's the 4th interception of the season for him. Cartwright in the backfield. Let's see if they take a shot here on 1st down after the pick. Bernard incomplete at the 13, intended for Leslie, just off of his fingertips. 2nd and 10. Well, he was all alone on an island out there.
A little RPO there, run pass option. And the big wide receiver, Leslie, he had the coverage beat. Unable to come down with the catch.
We saw Renard come out real hot. Opening drive, he was throwing dimes. Now it seems like he's throwing nickels a little bit. He's kind of lost his rhythm a little bit, not been on the mark with some open wide receivers with a chance for big plays.
4 receivers out in this formation again. 2nd down and 10. Little receiver screen complete inside the 20 to Leslie. Sets up a 3rd and about 3 to go here for A&T.
Nice way to get your quarterback into rhythm there. Easy screen pass. Linemen get up in front, and good blocking to help out for a nice gain on 2nd down, make it 3rd and manageable.
And a 7 on the play, 3rd and 2.
When they get in these short yardage situations, pay attention to number 46, William Hollingsworth, the fullback for North Carolina A&T.
What's that?
What's a fullback in college football?
Oh, he's a throwback, 46.
Follow him, and you'll probably find the football somewhere in the vicinity.
Here we go on 3rd and 2. Little play action. He's open out of the backfield. And a little incomplete, a little strong, intended for Leslie. Wilson back there in coverage, but Hollingsworth and Leslie were almost in the same vicinity there.
He missed again. I mean, he missed again. That's a throw you have to make, and somewhere along the way, Renard has lost his rhythm. You had 2 open wide receivers, and you missed it. The easy throw was to Hollingsworth. He didn't complete it. Now you bring in the field goal unit, which is very iffy for North Carolina A&T.
You see Renard shaking his head like, hey, I was open. Ruiz in for this field goal from 36. And it makes it a 10-3 game. Here at the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, it's 10-3. You know, some folks can handle a celebration. Boy, others, they tap out early. Past Excedrin. Back after this.
The Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl on ABC is brought to you by McDonald's new $6 classic meal deal at participating McDonald's. Buick, proud partner of the NCAA. And Wells Fargo, helping more families share holiday meals. The Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl on ABC is brought to you by McDonald's new $6 classic meal deal at participating McDonald's. Buick, proud partner of the NCAA. And Wells Fargo, helping more families share holiday meals.
Our own Jay Walker with the respective head coaches. Part of the festivities, both teams were in their Sunday best. They came through dripping, folks, as they toured the College Football Hall of Fame.
He's just chillaxing there, man. Laid back, feet up.
But they were trying to give me, like, coach speak answers. Like, how you going to win the game? They're like, oh, whoever turns the ball over creates turnover.
You weren't having
I'm like, yeah, come on now. So I'm like, don't give me coach speak.
Be real with me.
I had to talk to him, so it was a good one. I think you all are seeing this is definitely more than just a football game. It's an atmosphere. They come take over Atlanta, and it's a quality bowl game for both these institutions.
Black College National Championship game. This is Simmons trying to get to the edge and chopped down at the 11-yard line. Good open field tackle by Terrence Peterson.
Take a look right there, Rod Broadway. I called him the modern day HBCU coach and legend. Just retired a season ago, won 3 HBCU national championships at 3 different schools. How does that happen? Now, we all know about Eddie Robinson, the legend. He was one school, one job. Broadway did it at 3 different universities. One of the greatest coaches in the modern era of HBCU football.
Coach Washington told us he learned a lot from him, right? He told us he learned no nonsense, always be early, how to set your schedule, and consistency, one of the biggest keys to being a successful coach.
8.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Deshaun Waller picked up a yard on the play. Julian McKnight making the tackle up front.
It's been impressive to watch Coach Washington, Jay, in his first year, get this team to a MEAC championship and get this team here with a chance to win an HBCU national championship.
Never easy replacing a legend.
Right.
But they kept it going. Give credit to the administration of hiring within the program to keep him going on this course. And we can sing all the accolades we want. He's got to get this W here today to solidify his legitimacy there in North Carolina A&T.
Johnson going to take off himself on a predetermined run. Not much room there on that side of the line of scrimmage. Coach Washington telling us earlier that the tipping point for their season was really them being able to withstand the adversity that they went through after they lost to FAMU. They could have fallen apart, but they were able to show a lot of resolve and temerity and make it through and end up going 6-1 in the MEAC and 9-2 overall in the season and making it here to this national championship game.
That's coaching and leadership, right? To get guys to stick together in times of adversity, and they won their final 4 games and given themselves a great opportunity for another title.
3rd and 8. Johnson. Incomplete. Almost intercepted by Wilder.
Noah Johnson's going to have to be careful. We've already seen him throw 1 interception. Well, Antoine Wilder is all over the football field right now. Excellent job getting in the throwing lane. And we saw the pressure get there. Noah Johnson with his athleticism, he got outside the pocket But, man, he put that ball in harm's way, Jay.
They did, and something I've noticed about A&T, and they struggle against Grambling as well. They get to the quarterback, but they're not getting him down. You get a quarterback in your grasp in the backfield, that's got to be the sack, tackle for loss. Give credit Noah Johnson's athleticism, avoiding the sacks, but he does have to be careful once he leaves that pocket. You're exactly right, Justin.
Another great punt here by McCullough. Wesley on the return, got a block. Found a little alley, sidesteps his way down to the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 from there when we come back. And on the other side, Cousin Jones is going to give us a little Aggie history lesson. Stick around, we'll be right back.
College football semifinals on ESPN.
We told you about the history of Alcorn State. How about a little North Carolina A&T history? It's the largest HBCU in the entire country and the first college for people of color in North Carolina. It also played a very prominent role in the civil rights movement. The Greensboro Four, the sit-in at a whites-only eatery, those were for North Carolina A&T students. And one of the members of those four was Franklin McCain, who is the grandfather of number 29 on the current A&T team, Franklin McCain III. So a certain connection between the civil rights movement and the team here today.
Yeah, great story there, Roddy. Here's Martin, stopped at about the 40-yard line, and yeah, McCain was a big loss in that secondary, unable to play here. But the grandson of Franklin McCain, one of those Greensboro Four, and you have a daughter that goes to A&T too, right?
He's really good. I mean, they keep it in the family. That's what they mean when they say Aggie pride. And also, I'll say this as well. Everybody knows I'm a Howard guy. North Carolina A&T is the hottest school in the country right now.
Wow.
Athletically, academically, everything. They are the hottest HBCU in the country.
Admissions.
It's not by surprise that they are the largest HBCU in the country now. Give credit to Chancellor Martin, their president, for the job he's done down there in Greensboro.
From another quarterback to another one that completes the pass this time. Ron Hunt makes the reception. Bernard has kind of slowed down a little bit here, guys.
I actually think, Jay, he's throwing the football better on the move than he is standing in the pocket. It's almost as if they might want to continue to do some boots, some rollouts, because he looks a little bit more comfortable on the move.
Yeah, I mean, and I think you're exactly right. He started out that opening drive 3 of 3, and then he went 3 of 10, but they gave him a nice completion here. Easy, just run, pitch, and catch. Pick up the yardage, move the sticks.
How about that look? Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some toys today on this fantastic broadcast that you haven't seen before. Outstanding camera angle there from the first down marker.
Renard had to get rid of it quickly. There was some heat on him. Good pressure by Whittingham. No grounding call yet. Not sure that he was outside the pocket.
That's going to be the key. There was nobody in the area at all, but was he outside the pocket? I thought he went straight back.
Yeah, that's going to be grounding. Yeah. He wasn't outside the pocket.
He was not outside the pocket. The tackle box.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 7. Penalty is loss of down at the spot of the foul. 3rd down. Correction, 2nd down.
So Whittington with some good heat that time on Renard.
And Whittington's done an excellent job all year getting up the field, creating disruption, and clearly Renard still in the tackle box. Good call by the officials.
Yeah, we mentioned the Braves defense led FCS in sacks. 51 coming in.
Sacks, tackles for loss, number 1 in the FCS, and they told us this week the mentality of their defensive line is to dominate the line of scrimmage. They've done that so far here today.
2nd and long. Little screen pass here, complete to Cartwright. Made one guy miss and looked like he got tripped up by the turf monster at the 47. Ely was there to swipe at him. So it'll be 3rd down and long now for A&T. Let's go to Molly.
Mark, on the sidelines, Renard was talking closely with his wide receivers. They had some communication issues that last drive before, and head coach Sam Washington told him, "You're almost there. Shake it off. Calm down." Remember, Renard told me this was an emotional game for him. His coaches want to keep him poised in this one.
Yeah, sometimes getting over that initial wave of emotion can be one of the biggest challenges. 3rd and 22. They got to get all the way to the 25-yard line to get the 1st down. And still not in field goal range. Taking a shot up top. Got a man. Incomplete. Broken up at the last second of the 5-yard line by Cole. Ron Hunt, the intended receiver.
Quinterio Cole, the safety, really had a fantastic end to the season. He's going to be a deep high safety, and he's going to play over the top. Outstanding job because 81 Ron Hunt's got his man beat, and it's Cole who comes in, gets that hand in there initially to get the pass breakup. Outstanding job by the safety doing his job getting over the top and making a play on the ball.
Ely calls for the fair catch. Back at the 13-yard line. It will be 1st down and 10 for the Alcorn State Braves out of Mississippi. 34 yards on that punt. 1st down and 10 in a low-scoring Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl.
Hello. The Air Force Reserve Command is excited to be the title sponsor today of the HBCU title game. This is an amazing opportunity, just like the Air Force Reserve Command. Log on to airforcereserve.com and start your adventure today.
folks, here's a quick look at this year's ROTC Senior of the Year Award presented by Navy Federal Credit Union. Kirsten Cullinan wants to become a foreign area officer, and Brett Smith wants to fly jets. You guys are old enough to remember Officer and a Gentleman, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I want to fly jets, remember? And Richard Gere told Louis Gossett Jr. that in the movie, Officer and a Gentleman.
Mayo.
The 16-yard line.
Wasn't that Mayor, Officer Mayo?
Yeah, Officer Mayo. 4:10 to go in the first half. Nice scramble there by Noah Johnson. Picked up 3 on the play. Darrell Johnson again in on the play.
I was just watching that pass rush of Darrell Johnson. Just the motor he plays with. The relentless effort to the football. Initially blocked, doesn't have a great rush. He sticks with it and ultimately gets Noah Johnson to the turf.
2nd and 7. Into traffic again and dangerously close again to an interception. Antoine Wilder almost looked like he got his hands on it. You guys are shaking your head saying another close call, right?
Antoine Wilder's had 3 different times. He's had his hands on passes. It's a lot of zone coverage. His eyes are on the quarterback. They're anticipating routes, and they're stepping in front of several Noah Johnson passes, Jay.
Yeah, and I like what Wilder's doing. You can tell their game plan, take away the inside route, run the slant, and then get out to the curl. So we've seen him make plays not only just for the inside passing game, but he's gotten on the perimeter as well. Just a junior, he'll be back. First year with the program, he's really been a key towards the later part of the season of this Aggie defense really taking over the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference.
On 3rd and 7. Under pressure again. And this time outside the pocket, beyond the line of scrimmage. No grounding, but 4th down coming up for Alcorn State. So another win for that Aggie defense against Coach McNair's offense. 4th and 7.
Excellent rush there by Sam Blue. Darrell Johnson, he got the chipper. The running back helped out with the offensive tackle and opened up a big lane up the middle for Sam Blue, who forced Noah Johnson into a tough spot and forced him to just get the football out of his hand. These defenses, Jay, have really settled in and are making it difficult on both opposing offenses.
Yeah, we just have the feeling that Alcorn, if they're going to score points, they're going to have to rely on the big play.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to have a steady drive down the field. They're going to have a scramble drill.
Got a flag down on the field. McCullough set up the punt on his own 4. Here's the call.
Offside. Defense, number 42. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
They'll still punt.
Well, take a look at Darrell Johnson. He's going to come off the edge. Sam Blue just comes scot-free. Nobody accounts for him. That's initially what forces Noah Johnson to move. I'm surprised there wasn't a holding call on the tackle Kevin Hall. He had a fistful of jersey, working on one of the best in all the HBCU, Darrell Johnson.
McCullough's punt is high. Leslie called for the fair catch at the 30-yard line. A great punt by McCullough. Nothing on the return. Let's go down to Roddy.
Well, guys, the bands have started to file down onto the field in anticipation for halftime, and as they walk by, all of the fans are getting excited. The sounds of Dynamite for Alcorn State's band director, Emerson Martin, told me 75% of the people that are here for the bands, for the show, for the drill. And I just had a chance to catch up with the Blue and Gold Marching Band director, Kenneth Ruff, and he said, we're not happy with that number 7 ranking. We feel like we're the number 1 band in the entire country, and we are going to show it here today.
Okay. They go ready to bring that smoke. You'll get a chance to watch it at halftime.
I got to correct Roddy.
Part of the Mercedes-Benz halftime, yep. Right down to the 31, that's Cartwright.
Roddy, don't believe the hype, Roddy. Okay, now don't believe that. Now, bands are going to tell you it's all about them. It's all about football players. I mean, it's been going on for decades where the bands think they're the game. No. It's the ball starts with the football squad first, and then the band, the secondary entertainment.
Talking to the drum majors and to the band directors, they're talking about the fact that they get scholarships. They're going to school for free, too. So they got me drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit here, Jay.
And pass some to me, Roddy. I'm going to buy in on that a little bit, too. Renard looking to find his rhythm. Finds his receiver at the other end. That's Leslie. And he picks up a first down inside opposition territory, a 22-yard gain on the play.
I love this pocket presence right here by Lamar Reynard. Pressure gets to him on the inside. He doesn't panic. He stays calm. and watch him work to his right. Going to step up in the pocket. He sees that little opening, and then he locates his target, Leslie, down the field. Excellent quarterbacking from within the pocket by Raynard. Gets rid of it quickly again. This time it's Bell for a 7-yard gain. Going quick here with time winding down in the first half. We have a full complement of timeouts remaining. Clock running with 2:06 to go.
Be careful. Bottom of your screen, number 13, Elijah Bell. One-on-one coverage. They like to find him in these situations.
They look his way on the slant. You called it, Jay. Completed the 30-yard line. He was working against Burks. 1:52 to go. And now they seemingly have a little bit of rhythm on this drive. A 14-yard gain and a first down.
Raynard's got a little bit of that confidence back into a rhythm now.
3 for 3 on this drive. Hands it off to Cartwright. And Cartwright with nowhere to go.
Shippey again, man. Sterling Shippey. He is a low down there in the interior of that Alcorn State defensive line. I just love the way this guy plays. He's powerful. He pushes the pocket from the inside, and really the leader that sets the table for this Alcorn defense.
6'1", 300 pounds out of West Palm Beach, Florida.
All arms, too. He's got some guns.
He does. Big old chest.
And he uses them. That's the key. He's got the guns, and he uses them well. Those strong arms and biceps.
Martin in the backfield. Bell lined up to the bottom of your screen. Bernard pulls it out, looking towards Bell. Wide open. Room service. Touchdown, but there's a flag down at the 25.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, penalty has declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Bernard found his rhythm and they rolled on that drive. And for Bell, the 6th touchdown catch of the season for him. He made a couple of big catches on that drive. Ruiz with the extra point, and it's 17-3 for the Aggies.
Well, Jalen Thomas, the cornerback, he wants to challenge Elijah Bell at the line of scrimmage. They want to get physical at the line of scrimmage with the wide receiver, and it becomes extremely problematic. Right here, you're going to see him. He's going to shed, and he's going to get up the field. Jalen Thomas wants to get into him, be physical. Now watch Elijah Bell. He just sheds the defender, gets up the field, no safety help over the top, and that is an easy pitch and catch from Raynard to Bell before we get to halftime.
Elijah Bell special, one of the more physical receivers you'll see. Fantastic frame, 225 pounds, 6'1". The key is former basketball player, knows how to use his hands extremely well. Oh yeah, and once you get it rolling, he's back. And you can tell that's a quarterback. He struggled, but he played himself out of it. Right. That's why he's only lost 2 games his whole college career as a starter for North Carolina A&T.
An incredible 12-0 last year, and then when you can see Bell's showing his teammates how he just quickly discarded the defensive back Thomas. I could have swore I heard him say weight room up here. He put him in the weight room with that move.
If you're going to play press coverage, you better bring a little bit more to the table than that, or you better have a safety over the top when you're dealing with Elijah Bell.
No, absolutely. And for Bell, you know, he was hurt all season long. He didn't get to 100% until the North Carolina Central game. And once he's at 100%, this is what they've been missing offensively when they hit that lull in the middle of the season. And having a healthy Elijah Bell makes this offense that much better.
Well, after that touchdown, the Aggie band getting a little warm-up for halftime. They started playing after that touchdown. You see both bands as part of the Mercedes-Benz halftime. Well, Saturday, December 29th on ESPN, we'll have the college football playoff semifinals for you. Kicking things off, number 2 Clemson, number 3 Notre Dame in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic at 4 p.m. Eastern. Then number 1 Alabama, number 4 Oklahoma in the Capital One Orange Bowl. Both games available on the app. You can watch the games anywhere. Dusty, I'll start with you. Give me your 2 picks, bro.
Clemson and Alabama.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to Oklahoma.
Hey.
What's my job?
Call it like you see it. I like that.
Listen, here's what I will tell you, though. I can't wait to watch Kyler Murray and that Oklahoma offense against that Alabama defense. I do think Oklahoma has a chance in that game, and they're going to push Alabama. Alabama's just too much.
Well, Tua getting better at quarterback. And 52 seconds to go. Brown fires. Wow, he had a tight window and made that pass complete to Blair. Jay, let me get to you. I can't let you off. Who do you like in those two games?
I'm going along with Dusty. I think Clemson's going to get there. I don't think Notre Dame is ready for what they're going to see. But I do want to see Kyler Murray versus that Alabama defense. However, it's the most explosive offense in the University of Alabama history. You got to go Roll Tide in a major way.
I'm still kind of wondering what happened with Jalen Hurts coming in that last game for Alabama. What a great story that is for him to wait, be patient when people said he should think about transferring, and he had his moment. He had his moment in that game, guys.
Huge moment, and I mean, life's about moments, right?
Yeah.
And are you ready for the moment when it presents itself? Jalen Hurts, like a true professional, even though he's a college player, he treats himself like a professional, and he handled that situation splendidly.
Here's Brown. Running is one of his assets and strengths. Into Aggie territory, picking up 13 yards. They got a couple of timeouts remaining here. 26 seconds to go in the half.
And that's that theme. The penetration is getting there, but they can't get Noah Johnson down. That's going to come back and hurt him if they don't figure out a way to put Noah Johnson down on the turf.
Johnson sat and learned first couple of years on campus.
You do all that work fighting with 300-pound linemen, you think you get to a 190-pound quarterback, you get him on the ground, right?
First down from the 48. Johnson. Incomplete. That should have been caught at the 33-yard line by Johnson. Boy, those are drive killers. Stops the clock with 20 seconds to go.
That's the second time today that we've seen Alcorn receivers just drop a pass. Help your quarterback out. Tavares Johnson, that's a little high, but man, he's got to catch that ball.
When your quarterback's running for his life, you have to make that catch. That's one thing as a quarterback. You say, if I'm going to get away from the rush, I need you to do your job and help me out make the catch.
2nd and 10. Complete. Blair picks up the first down. At about the 35-yard line, McNair runs out onto the field with 13 seconds to go. Calls a timeout, a pickup of 14 on the play. And on the fringes of field goal range. McCullough has a long this year of 46 yards. Braves with only a field goal to show so far offensively in this football game.
But if they can get some points on the board right now, going into the locker room, that helps with a little bit of momentum that they need. If they can just get some points, I don't think you necessarily have to score a touchdown here, but you want to end the half with some points there on a positive note.
Totally agree with that. On the flip side, if you're A&T and you can come up with a stop and not give any points, now you have a little bit of momentum heading into the halftime. So pivotal final few plays here this first half.
Well, Coach McNair talked about the gravity to this Black College National Championship game. He said we didn't take any shortcuts. We've done everything the right way, the hard way at times, to get a chance for another shot at this team. It would mean the world should we win. First down and 10 from the 34.
And we told this week, this is everything, this game, this moment.
Brown has a window. Complete inside the 10. First and goal. Anthony with the catch, working against Darden. 6 seconds to go, and they're going to hurry up. Get up to the line of scrimmage, first and goal. They got a timeout remaining. They'll spike it first with 4 seconds to play.
I don't know. I think I call the timeout there because think about it. They had 6 seconds to go, right? You've got a timeout. Call the timeout, and then you can maybe make a throw into the end zone, and if you don't get it, then kick the field goal.
Yeah.
Right now, I think you have to bring the field goal unit out and take the points.
You lost 2 seconds, yeah.
Completely agree. You had one shot. You take the timeout immediately. You can take one shot to the end zone and still have time to kick the field goal.
Kick the field goal if you don't get it.
With 4 seconds on the clock. That's a great point. That's a great point right there, Jay, and potentially a missed opportunity by Coach McNair and Alcorn.
McCollum made one earlier from 29. This one from 25 yards out. A little chip shot for him. And he drills it through to make it 17-6 as time expires here in the 4th chapter of the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. Noah Johnson took his team down the field, and we're at the half. And halftime means it's time for these bands to get out there and do their thing. You just got to shake what your mom gave you sometimes. We'll be back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
Hey, folks, it's halftime here in the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl between Alcorn State and North Carolina A&T. ESPN is your home for the college football playoff and the games of the New Year's Six. Coverage begins Saturday, December 29th, and continues on January 1st. Don't miss College Game Day live from the Capital One Orange Bowl beginning at 9 a.m. Hey, we'll be back with more action right after these messages.
This is Capital One Bowl Mania. This is Capital One Bowl Mania.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. From Atlanta, Georgia, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's the 4th edition of this game. Alcorn State trailing North Carolina A&T. Let's take a look at today's Bring in the Flavor, brought to you by McDonald's. Some of the great sights and sounds of the respective bands playing at halftime. And I tell you, they brought that smoke. They brought that heat at halftime. A&T and Alcorn State sounds of dynamite. And the dance team doing their thing. Great entertainment, all part of the distinct and unique vibe and flavor of HBCU college football.
Show me your medal. Now, I see this on a weekly basis.
Okay.
Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
So what'd you learn? What'd you like, Mark Jones?
I love the fact that I heard a little Cool in the Gang from Alcorn State's band, a little fresh.
I'm not voting on anybody, but that A&T drum line, that was on point for me. That was pretty legit.
Good studies, yeah, they do it. And you see, that's part of the thing that calls it the HBCU experience, which is something good. And I've always said A&T the most improved band I've seen in a long time.
Okay.
They're starting to become one of the top-tier bands there.
A&T ranked number 7. Yeah, Roddy told us a little bit earlier that they're in the national rankings, and Alcorn State unranked right now, but certainly they brought some heat at halftime. And we are underway here in the second half. Simmons on the return. Alcorn will have the ball first on offense, but Molly, what about defensively for the Braves?
Well, I actually talked to Fred McNair about his offense because he was most upset about that. He said a lack of execution was their biggest issue in the first half, and he wants Noah Johnson to keep his eyes down the field in the passing game. He was really disappointed with some of the mistakes by their wide receivers, some of those drops. And remember, Rodarius Anderson is not in this game. He's out with a head injury. So he said that they need to lean heavily on Noah Johnson. A win hinges upon their quarterback, Mark.
Yeah, Anderson was a guy that had over 500 yards receiving. Tops on the team coming into the ball game. So it's next man up, and somebody has to pick that slack up. First down and 10. They hand it off to Waller. Nice straight arm. And Waller out to the 35-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Roddy. Tell us about the pillars, Roddy.
Well, Mark, we've seen great examples of all 3 pillars. The football on the field has been fantastic. You saw at halftime the A&T and the Sounds of Dynamite band showing off. You guys mentioned that percussion section for A&T. That's the #1 percussion section in the country. Then we've also seen the fraternities and sororities as well. We've seen AKAs and Deltas getting along, Zetas and SG Rhos. We've seen Kappas and Sigmas, Alphas, Iotas. We've seen the entire representation of the spectrum be able to coexist together as we have an injury on the field. It's been fantastic to see, and they all just mentioned the fact that this is about service. This is about coming together to be able to showcase what they do in the communities on a week-in, week-out basis.
Yeah, Jay, you know too as much as anyone, having been a big part of HBCU football, that the impact goes well beyond the football field.
Yeah, I mean, you don't lose folks. At the end of the day, what do HBCUs do? They educate and prepare African-American men and women for life. You know, life experiences, and that's giving back, coming back to your alma mater. That's what the experience is all about, and it's a different culture. And I think what I like about it, you get the opportunity to expose it to everybody. I get to talk to my good friend Dusty here about some of the experiences, and I can tease him about my college experience compared to his. But at the end of the day, we're football players. But
on a serious note, I mean, I've learned so much about the HBCU programs, about the leagues, about this game. It's been great.
Hey, SportsCenter tonight after the New Orleans Bowl on ESPN. Bucci and Anderson have all the highlights from the first day of Bowl Mania, plus Texans, Jets, Broncos, Browns post-game coverage. LeBron and the Lakers taking on the Hornets in front of his airness MJ himself. SportsCenter tonight after college football on ESPN as well as the ESPN app. 2nd down and 4. Boy, into a tight window. That pass complete to Anthony Jr., Juan Anthony Jr. out of Woodsville, Mississippi.
One thing we'll have to keep an eye on, and we'll keep Molly and Roddy on it, but Antoine Wilder had a massive first half. Several hands on footballs and throwing lanes, and he went down with that injury. We'll have to monitor to see exactly how long he may be off the field for this defense.
That might be their most impactful player on that side of the ball. 3rd down and short. Opening drive the second half for Noah Johnson, and a little bit of motion up front.
Self-inflicted wound right there. Mental error. Got to know the snap count. And I'll tell you this, one thing you're going to get from Alcorn, these boys are from the SIP. That's Mississippi.
Okay.
They're tough. They're not going to lay down. They're going to come out, and if A&T is going to hold on to this lead, they're going to have to earn it. There's one thing that the Alcorn State Braves do not do. They don't give up, and they bring it every play, so it's going to be a very interesting second half.
Yeah, their offense especially number 8 in FCS in rushing.
I thought what Coach McNair told Molly was so key. Noah Johnson has to have a big second half to lead them to victory.
3rd and 6. Johnson fires high, incomplete. Intended for Johnson Jr. And they'll have to punt now on 4th down.
And this is where I think schematically, Ryan Stanchek, the offense coordinator, he's got to make a change. A&T's doing a good job of telling their linebackers, curl to flat, curl to flat. They're flying out there. When they do that, you attack the seams. We got to start seeing the slant routes, the seam routes, instead of them relying on the outside throw, which A&T has made the adjustment for.
What I liked right there, Daryl Johnson took a speed rush up the field. He got to the level the quarterback shut it down and worked his way back. That way, Noah Johnson, it condenses and closes those running lanes that he's been taking advantage of in the first half.
5th punt of the night from McCullough. Leslie takes it on the fly, and it looked like he called a fair catch, and that's going to be a penalty if he did.
They said he called the fair catch. They got to throw the flag.
It looked like it. A 43-yard punt.
The Alcorn State sideline is not happy right now.
That's what you call a fair catch with benefits.
The receiver gave a fair catch signal. 1st down.
Let's take a look at the Pacific Life game summary. Some of the cogent points of the ball game so far. 14-point lead for A&T. And there's a look at some of the pertinent numbers. Bernard with a couple of touchdown passes. Scored on their opening drive of the football game. Johnson just 9 of 19 with that interception. 1st down and 10. Aggies. This is Martin. Oh, he got stuck at the 30, stayed on his feet, then got drilled again by Brady Smith. Muhammad there. Second down and 3. Look at this.
Good blocking outside by Elijah Bell. And then we're to see Jermaine Martin shake a guy down, and bam! Big hit coming down by Muhammad. Really outstanding job running to the football.
And I think we're seeing North Carolina A&T and their offensive coordinator, Chris Barnett, force feed the run. That's the thing that stood out to us when we talked at halftime. The lack of rush productivity in the first half from North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, and it's give Alcorn so much credit. We've talked a lot about their ability to play on the other side of the football, and they've got 7 tackles for loss in that opening half. So they've done an outstanding job limiting Cartwright, limiting Reynard, and limiting this rushing attack of A&T.
Opening possession of the 3rd quarter for A&T. Little bunch formation to the right. Bernard trying to make lemonade, and he got the 1st down on a great scramble. Muhammad finally brought him down, but a 5-yard gain on the play.
Sometimes you just got to make a play, Jay.
Right.
And there was no one covered down, no one open down the field, trying to run a couple of shallow crossing routes. They did a nice job staying with the receivers. And Reynard he finds a little bit of a running lane. You see Muhammad trying to spy him, but Reynard gets just enough to move the chains.
And it was a quick decision. If you're going to decide to take off, pick up the 1st down, don't wait. He made his drop back, didn't like what he saw, took off, picked up the 1st down.
Hands it off. This is Cartwright. You know, we talk about Renard. Cartwright picked up 6. Incredible journey for him. In 2014, he redshirted. 2015, he started the season opener and then struggled and ended up splitting time. Didn't take a snap in the 2015 Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl right here. He started the following season and won 5 starts, and a chest injury slowed him down. But this has really been his year on the heels of going undefeated a season ago. When you're 12-0 as a quarterback, that really says a lot about your leadership and your skill. Over the middle, picked off at the 32-yard line by Brady Smith.
Forced a throw. He made up his mind pre-snap read he was going to Elijah Bell, but they did a good job of throwing Elijah Bell off his pattern. A lot of contact down the field. They just threw this ball up for grabs.
Reynard trying to make a play down the field, but it's Brady Smith with different plans in mind. The safety with a big pick. Coach McNair likes it. Alcorn likes it. Trying to get back in this game. Excellent job with the disguise here by the Alcorn defense. Going to drop Cole, the safety, down. Roll Smith over the top. They show 2 high. It moves to 1. Get a little bit of a reroute on Bell as he tries to work up the field vertically. Quarterback Reynard never saw Smith roll over the top. Ball's overthrown. Big time interception for this Alcorn defense.
They're 14th of the season. And a chance here, decent field position at their own 31. P.J. Simmons in the backfield on 1st and 10. Little jet sweep action by Anthony Jr. Broke a tackle and a first down out to the 44-yard line. And a late flag thrown from behind the play. The 13-yard gain on the play.
Coach McNair giving Dimitri Lewis, apologize, Contez Everett, an earful over on the sidelines. Wondering if this might be on him.
The result of the play is a first down. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 86. 15-yard penalty brings up first down. That is number 86's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
You would say, hey, what's the big deal? They got the first down.
Right.
But in a game like this, when defenses have been dominating a little bit, field possession is so crucial. Giving up those 10 yards that you just picked up on the first down, when you've had trouble matriculating the ball down the field.
Right.
86 right here, getting Daryl Johnson.
Oh.
I got to be, I don't know, man. That's
the wrong guy, too. Right? Trying to get down.
I don't think that
Johnson.
warrants 15 yards, though. I don't know. That's pretty petty there.
I want to take you out at night, Dusty, with me. On this run, this is Simmons. Collared after a gain of about 8. McNeil making the tackle. That's just a little tap then on that last play.
That's a little love tap. They didn't take him off his feet. Just let him know he's there.
I need you when I'm getting through those long lineups to get to the show or, get to the spot.
This is a physical sport, right?
Simmons into the boundary and stopped immediately. See, Jay's a quarterback, so he's not going to speak on that.
No, that's why I'm having this conversation.
Quarterbacks can't get touched. You can't touch quarterbacks these days.
Can't even breathe on a quarterback anymore.
People used to always say, "Keep your head on the swivel." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, you're a quarterback.
We throw the ball downfield. Yeah, we're always seeing the football.
Loss of 3 on that last play. 3rd down and 4. And Noah Johnson just took his hat off. Wilder back on the field.
Had an
That's a good
outstanding
sign.
first half for A&T defense. Several pass deflections and a leading tackler on this defense. And as we were told by the coaching staff this week, best linebacker, one of the better players they have on that side of the ball.
Well, his teammates really gravitate towards him for a lot of different good reasons. Johnson steps up and tackled at the 36-yard line. Sam Blue, the guy with the motor that's always running at 100 miles per hour, with the tackle. No gain on the play.
I want you to watch Sam Blue talking about containing a quarterback. He's going to be standing up outside. Watch him as he gets up the field, and then he has the ability to shut his rush down. He's going to work. He gets up to the level. He rips and comes back underneath. You see how he ripped? He turned a corner, gets back underneath. If he doesn't make that play, Noah Johnson's running for a first down. Outstanding play by Sam Blue.
They came out in a funky formation there on 4th down and now set up to punt. McCullough at his own 22. Ely back deep with Leslie. This is Leslie all the way back at the 16-yard line. A good punt. 48 yards. Time onto the field. When we come back, Roddy's going to be breaking down some of those alpha males. Story of the Greeks when we come back.
The Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl on ABC is brought to you by McDonald's new $6 classic meal deal at participating McDonald's. And Capital One, what's in your wallet? The Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl on ABC is brought to you by McDonald's new $6 classic meal deal at participating McDonald's. And Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Are you cracking a smile?
Be out of his short. And a helmet.
The Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl on ABC is brought to you by McDonald's new $6 classic meal deal at participating McDonald's. And Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Well, captains and seniors from both teams visiting children at Atlanta's Hughes Spalding Children's Hospital. Part of the great outreach and community service and impactful service that this bowl creates. All part of the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, the 4th edition, 17-6. The Aggies 1st and 10. Cartwright with nowhere to go, stopped by Dalen Burks. And there's a flag down in the field with just under 8 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Neither team able to move the ball on their opening series.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run, 1st down.
Roddy Jones, tell me about those famous alphas.
Well, we talked about the Divine Nine, and the alphas started it all. So let's go back to some of the most notable alphas, and we've got some heavy hitters. Martin Luther King Jr., Thurgood Marshall, and Duke Ellington all claiming Alpha Phi Alpha as their fraternity. Some other notable alphas, our own Stuart Scott and Jay Harris, who's actually in the building today, is an alpha. Just listen to these first. The first black mayor of Birmingham, the first black mayor of Atlanta, of New York City, of New Orleans, the first Supreme Court justice, and the first NFL head coach were all members of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.
Has some great lineage and history with the alphas. Of course, someone's going to be demanding equal coverage and documentation soon. Downfield, incomplete. No flag, and now a late flag thrown on the play. Malik Wilson protesting and got the flag thrown, working against Burks.
I never thought he got his head back, Jay.
Got to
Pass
turn around.
interference, defense, number 1. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
You know, you've got Dalen Burks, and he's running stride for stride with Malik Wilson. Malik Wilson's such a speedster, but he never gets turned around, and he continues to work into the body of the wide receiver. I understand Burks doesn't like the call, but I think it's the right call.
It is the right call. And the flag should have come out a little bit early. He walled him off and prevented the wide receiver from coming back to make a catch because he didn't know where the football was. Good call by the official.
Makes it a 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Bernard, the offensive player of the year last year in the conference. Looking to get his rhythm back, rolls out. Fires a strike complete to Leslie. Got a blocker out in front of him. Leslie finally tackled inside the 5 by Burks. 1st and goal, Aggies.
Dusty, you said it early in the first half. For some reason today, Raynard just looks a lot more comfortable throwing on the run as opposed to the pocket. Great play selection. They get him outside the pocket on a little waggle action, throws a strike, and then the athleticism of Zachary Leslie kicks in.
I love how Zachary Leslie works back to the football, and once he possesses it, makes one guy miss, and he gets down the sidelines. Excellent job on the comeback. Catches it, makes 2 defenders miss. Good blocking out in front.
Look at that view.
That's a fantastic
a nice shot.
Whatever it is, Raynard, man, on the move. He's been fantastic here today.
1st and goal. Into the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Bell. Boy, they were bumping and grinding down the sidelines there, but no flag thrown. Morrison defending on the play.
You mentioned it earlier, Jay, former basketball player, and Elijah Bell just going to let him try to post up, throw the fade over the top. Didn't put quite enough air underneath it, I think, to allow Elijah Bell to go up and get it. Good job by Morrison on some physical defense outside.
And Bell normally comes down with that. You know, he did a good job of walling him off, but like you said, the throw didn't have enough air on it to allow him to readjust.
2nd and goal. Bernard looked like a predetermined quarterback run, brought down at about the 6. Sets up 3rd and goal. Hollis there to make the tackle for Alcorn State. A gain of 1 on the play. What does it mean for the game if they can punch it in here and score, Jay?
A touchdown obviously really puts the pressure on the Alcorn State offense, which hasn't been there. Field goal, you're still leaving a glimmer of hope for that offense. It'd only be down by 14 points.
Here we go on 3rd down.
There's a big difference between being down 2 scores and 3 scores. Big possession for this defense.
Braves defense needs a stop here. Into the end zone, incomplete, and they get the stop they need.
4th down coming up. Morrison working against Leslie.
Huge stop. They try to go back to Leslie, that length, that size, throw another fade to him. They're working on Morrison, who's only 5'10", but he has done a nice job being physical. Ooh, ball just over the outreached hand of Zachary Leslie in the end zone.
Literally a game of inches. Now a field goal from 25 yards out. Noel Ruiz has connected from 36 a little bit earlier. They muffed a snap. Looking to throw it now and can't. And the Braves get another bonus. So the Aggies come up empty after having 1st and goal from inside the 10.
Could be costly. I mean,
Wow.
that could be huge right there. You're only up by 11. You have an opportunity to go up by 14, as we mentioned. And special teams let you down.
Ernst Bush, the holder, couldn't get a handle on it. And the Braves get a break.
UFC fans, this is the moment you truly all been waiting for.
Well, here's one more look at that miscue on the snap and hold. Ernest Bush, the holder here. Guys, it looked like that's on him.
He dropped it. His snap was a little bit high, but he's got to be able to grab that, put it down, and get a clean placement. Maybe that's why 67 typically isn't your holder.
On the option into the boundary, this is Waller. Some good hard running, picks up about 8 on the play.
Attacking the perimeter with the running game. They've given up on running in between the tackles. They're going on the perimeter now.
This is what coaching is all about sometimes, right, Dusty?
Yeah, I was watching this during the break, and Coach Washington goes right over to Ernest Bush after the big mistake, pats him on the head, and I love at the end they both walk away with a big smile.
And this is Waller running away from the defense. One guy to beat.
and brought down finally at the 28-yard line by Amir McNeil. But a spirited run and a dash by Waller, 48 yards.
We talked about the ability to be a home run hitter, and that's what Deshaun Waller is. He found a crease and exploded.
Big hole in the middle of that offensive line, just opens right up. Excellent job blocking, and as you mentioned, Deshaun Waller, a home run hitter, big-time speed in the open field.
Longest play of the day by Waller here.
Love the blocking here, and then how about the vision he has to see the hole and burst through it. See the acceleration in the open field. Exactly what this Alcorn State team needed. Felt like they were almost done, backs against the wall. They get the stop, muff snap on the field goal, then a huge play created. The momentum of this game, man, it has completely swung the other direction.
It's what we said, that it seems like Alcorn's going to have to rely on the big plays. They're not going to have the ability to pick up continual first downs. They need big plays from some of their big plays, their star players. Deshaun Waller trying to step up here in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia.
And Bush getting back in the lab, getting those hands right, getting his mind right after Coach came and coached him up and gave him a little encouragement a moment ago.
I'm sure Ernest Bush does a fine job at that. All I was thinking was typically you see quarterbacks, right? I mean, I'm sure when you played quarterback a long time, I bet you were a holder.
Yep.
Under 5 minutes to go. Alcorn State making a move here. Trying to get back in this game. Over the top and high again. Noah Johnson misfiring, trying to find Tim McNair. Well, we have 3 more bowl games for you today. Coming up next, number 21 Fresno State squaring off against Herm Edwards, who did a great job this year at Arizona State in the Mitsubishi Motors Las Vegas Bowl over on ESPN 5:30. It's Georgia Southern Eastern Michigan in the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl. And at 9, the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl from the Superdome. Middle Tennessee State quarterback Brent Stockhill playing his final game for his dad against App State. All 3 games also available on the app. 4:37 to go in the third. Keeper, Brown, Johnson. Touchdown, Braves! And here they come. Noah Johnson able to help the Braves take advantage and capitalize on that blown field goal attempt just moments ago. 10th rushing touchdown of the season for him. And the Braves are right back in it. Extra point is good. It's a 4-point game.
We've been saying Noah Johnson has to have an impact, and one of the keys for this A&T defense was to contain Noah Johnson and not allow him into the open field. Mission failed on that last touchdown, but it was an outstanding block by Jaquavian Bowles, the tight end, right here, the kick-out block, and then we're going to see Noah Johnson fit right off that block, then hit the sidelines, and at speed in the open field, you're not going to catch him. The SWAC Offensive Player of the Year takes it to the house, and Alcorn State back in this game.
Boy, what a response after that muffed field goal.
I told you the boys from the SIP weren't going to quit. They were going to show up with some big plays. And for the first time, this place is starting to give me some feeling of being down on the reservation down in Lawrence, Mississippi, what they call their stadium. When they start doing the chops and the band's getting into it, normally good things are happening for the Alcorn State Braves.
Finding their groove right now. This is 2.0 in terms of this rivalry and this rematch. They played in the inaugural Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl back in 2015. Let's look at Pat White, one of the assistant coaches for the Braves. This is a short kickoff. Malik Wilson trying to turn it loose here, but bottled up in a great open field tackle at the 23-yard line. This is what it looked like back in 2015. They faced off in the inaugural Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, and it turned into the Tariq Cohen show, folks. 295 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day, named the offensive player of the game. They saw nothing but his shoe bottoms, Jay.
Impressive performance, and let America know what a special talent he is. And don't be surprised. We weren't surprised to see him continue to have that type of success in the National Football League as well for the Chicago Bears. But Tariq Cole was special running back, all-time greatest rusher statistically in the history of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference.
Wow. And it's not even close. He's over 2,000 yards ahead of number 2 on that list, Jay.
Let's see how the Aggies respond. Bernard pulls it out on the option and makes it up near the 30-yard line.
And I'm going to tell you something. North Carolina A&T is not used to not being able to run the ball.
Yep.
I mean, they rush for almost 200 yards per game, so they normally get ahead of the sticks on first down. Give credit to Mr. Shippey and his company, the boys, on the defensive line of neutralizing this rushing attack.
And Solomon Muhammad, the linebacker for Alcorn, has been all over the field today, playing behind that outstanding defensive line. This front seven, they've lived up to the billing.
There's 27 yards rushing today for the Aggies. Cartwright in the backfield. Takes the handoff, had a blocker in front of him. Man, that Braves defense really swarming right now. They have turned up the heat. Brady Smith, the first guy to get there.
I mean, they just keep it going. They bring the pressure on a consistent basis at the line of scrimmage. Look at the purple jerseys getting behind the line of scrimmage. They do tackles for losses. That's what they do, and they've showed up here today. The front four, along with the linebackers, Dusty.
And one thing that they've done an excellent job of, they play a lot of two high safeties, a lot of cover 4, a lot of cover 2. And today they're starting with 2 high and they're rolling 1 safety down to get that extra hat in the box. And it's been a fantastic game plan for this Alcorn State defense.
Pressure off the edge, backside heat. Incomplete. Terry Whittington was coming after Renard and drilled him just as he released it. Alcorn State is really revved up right now.
Well, I've been waiting for Terry Whittington to make his presence felt all day. Outstanding rusher. You're going to see him on the top side. Watch him just win with speed. That's what he does. He's got an excellent get off. He picks up grass. He beats that tackle, Pettiford, out of his stance. Gets the big hit on Reynard as he's trying to deliver the pass. Man, all the momentum is with the Braves of Alcorn State.
By the looks of this stadium, who's winning this football game right now? You can't tell Alcorn's down by 4. They know they've got the Aggies on the ropes, and they're getting ready to get the football back.
Rivers with the punt, a low line drive. Really watches it bounce. And it'll be down at about the 36-yard lines. Alcorn State with momentum on their side, trailing by 4, 2:46 to go after that 36-yard punt.
And you know what? Give credit to Coach McNair. Has he changed his demeanor the whole game?
Stoic,
he was down,
business-like on the sidelines.
He was down by 14, or now he's got it to a 4-point game with the ball. He's business as usual.
And let's not forget the last possession. It was the big run by Waller, and then that set up the big run by Noah Johnson. Finally, one of the best rushing offenses in all the FCS showed us a glimpse of that on the previous drive. We'll see if they can match it on this possession.
First down and 10. Noah Johnson up the middle again. Waller again. Still on his feet. He's got a blocker out in front. Tiptoeing. Finally pushed out of bounds. Back at the 11-yard line. But Chris Blair, his wide receiver, made a great block downfield to spring him loose even further. A 53-yard gallop.
Offensive line is starting to get on the second level to help spring some of these runs. Deontay Brooks, Mustafa Ibrahim, nice job inside.
Johnson kept it that time and slides into the 8-yard line.
I'm curious to see what happens here. Remember before, Alcorn State defense was in the same predicament. Can they stop A&T from scoring a touchdown, settling for a field goal? That's what the Aggie defense has to do right now versus Alcorn State offense.
By the way, Deshaun Waller, is he explosive or what? Man.
Wow, $1.02 on the last 2 runs. Second down and 8. 3 receivers out to the bottom of your screen. Simmons in the backfield. Simmons takes the handoff, nowhere to go. He's going to lose about 3 yards. Richie Kittle's the first tackler to arrive. It'll be 3rd down.
Good penetration there by Kittles off the edge. Also Sam Blue, the senior defensive end, with a good job playing the other side of the football. Big 3rd down here for the Braves.
And remember, they're without Anderson, their 6'5" receiver, Jay, which always comes in handy at this part of the field, right?
This is his part of the field where he specializes in, so they're down a man. Look for them to possibly go for some type of crossing route to get Chris Blair involved in the passing game.
Keep your eyes on number 11. They come with a little blitz. Johnson with a pump fake and nowhere to throw it. Incomplete. 4th down coming up. Let's go downstairs to Roddy.
Well, guys, before that play, this place is fired up on the Alcorn State side. I'm standing right in front of the band. The band was fired up and swaying. All the Greeks over here were fired up and swaying. The entire crew for Alcorn State in the corner over here was going bananas. And it's funny, we're looking across the field at the North Carolina A&T side, and they're all sitting on their hands. So the difference between the two is stark. Uncle Mo is definitely on the side of Alcorn State.
And a chance, Roddy, here for them to cash in with some points on the drive. McCullough knocks it through the uprights, and in a blink, wow, it's down to a 1-point margin for the Aggies. When you think about what could have happened at the beginning of this quarter, North Carolina A&T going in for a touchdown. The drive stalls. They muff the snap. And then since then, Alcorn State with a couple of scores now closing to within 1.
You always know when you start hearing the band get involved in the game, bad things are happening for the team playing them.
Deshaun Waller doing a great job in the backfield.
That last big Deshaun Waller run. Hits it up inside. Runs through arm tackles in the open field. I like that big block down the field by Chris Blair. Yeah. Deshaun Waller has re-energized this Alcorn State offense. Man, we got a ball game.
They pop kick it down to the 21. Wilson, they're aware of his kickoff return abilities. Wilson found an alley. Wilson kicks into turbo. There's that smoke. Touchdown, Aggies.
What happened? They were smiling a couple seconds ago.
They sure were.
Remember when A&T was sitting on their hands? They're not on their hands anymore.
That's what Roddy told us a second ago.
They're about their seats. Wow.
A 79-yard kickoff return by Malik Wilson.
Is that guy fast or what?
Malik the Freak Wilson with freakish speed. Nobody laid a hand on him.
His 4th kick return of the season for this A&T football team.
And you know what I describe this kickoff return as? Or speed kills. Because this was just all speed. He outran everybody. He missed a tackle there. He turned on an extra gear that nobody else on the football field had. Look at that.
And then we're trying to kick it away from him, right? They kicked it short. He still got his hands on it.
I'll do one for you. You know, we've got Tyreek the Freak Hill. Yeah. How about Malik the Freak Wilson here for North Carolina A&T? Wow.
Little dig me moment for Wilson.
He can roll, man. That's some outstanding speed in the open field. There was a couple of nice blocks. I saw one of them by your boy, 46, William Hollingsworth. He helped spring that big run.
And you see he's a new. We're talking about the celebration of service, so he's got his headband on. Right. Got to take off the helmet right away.
Let him see.
Your Cap Alpha Psi brothers know you're representing your fraternity down there on the sideline.
Very subtle, very nice. Well, the building is hot after that kickoff return. Remember that each of the games, the previous 3 games, have all been decided by 7 points or less. This is Simmons on the return. And he's tackled at about the 27-yard line. There's a flag down on the field.
Block here, and how about the block that we're going to see come right here? Outstanding job by these guys, and then we're going to get, there he is, just enough to give a crease for Malik Wilson, and he can pick him up and put him down.
The longest kickoff return in Bowl history. Boy, the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl got hot in a blink.
Crucial penalty right there, Jay.
Yeah.
Backing him up all the way inside the 10-yard line.
31 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Does Deshaun Waller have another big run left in him? What a third quarter it's been for him.
I'm definitely going to try. I'm going to get him the football in these type of situations.
No doubt.
He had 2 touches over 102 yards. Boy, it looked like Johnson was waiting to hand it off to somebody, and nobody was home, Jay.
Miscommunication in the backfield. They weren't on the same page between Johnson and Waller. That play there. Fortunate to only lose a yard.
Time winding down in the third quarter. Looks like they're going to try and get one off here. On 2nd and 11. Out of the backfield, complete. Johnson to Bowles, his tight end. About 3 yards shy of the first down.
Well,
That's
guys,
the end of the third quarter.
Fireworks from Malik Wilson. I've had 3 Kappas stop me and say, you know he's a Noop, right? The Noops are proud of their boy that has North Carolina A&T up 24-16.
ESPN celebrating 150 years of college football.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. And the building is hot as we start the fourth quarter of play. The rhythms of the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl happening on the field and in the stands. And a great final 15 minutes coming up. The Braves, meanwhile, just 1 of 10 on third down conversions. And they're able to get the first down. Waller by just a little bit.
That's a crucial 3-yard pickup on 3rd and 3. And that's a tough, physical run by Deshaun Waller. We've seen the home run capability, the explosiveness, but right there you saw him just lower his shoulder, get hit about 1.5 yards shy of the first down, churn those legs, and muscle through to pick up a much-needed first down.
Waller, 14 rushes today, guys, for a total of 147 yards. Got 102 on 2 carries, pretty much back-to-back.
Versus a defense that only gives up 72 yards per game. Impressive day from Waller.
On 1st and 10, he gets it again. Cuts it upfield and picked up about 8, but there's a flag down again.
Holding. Offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's going to come back.
Second penalty this half by Contez Everett. Everett also had that personal foul that I actually didn't think should have been, but that definitely was a hold to negate a nice run there by Deshaun Waller.
And it's so costly because if Alcorn's going to move the ball, you have to give the ball to Waller. They're going to ride Waller, but 1st and 20, you take it out of the hands of your best playmaker. Now you got to rely on the arms and legs of Noah Johnson.
Good point. Johnson second in the SWAC with 24 touchdowns accounted for this year. Fired high, incomplete for Chris Blair. And it brings up a quick 3rd and long.
To pass, I understand that the pass is slightly high, and I know Noah Johnson didn't take any off that little slant, but you need Chris Blair and your receivers to find a way to come down with those catches. Ball hits you in the hands. I know it's not perfectly placed, but help your quarterback out in this fourth quarter when you're fighting for a championship.
2nd and 18, Waller motions out of the backfield. That pass complete over the middle to Juan Anthony Jr.
You see that they're attacking the seams now, so I do like the adjustment. Before they were going outside passing game. Now they're looking for the seams and the creases. But when you're going to throw the ball across the middle field, it has to be a more accurate throw because their bodies around there flying.
3rd down and 5 coming up after that 13-yard pickup.
Man-to-man coverage.
See what Johnson does with it. Keeps it himself. A little option look. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. Noah Johnson with a determined sprint. Picks up the first down, moves the chains with 13:06 to go. A 12-yard gain.
Daryl Johnson, the defensive end on that side that Noah Johnson ran the speed option to, he got too far down inside, and he allowed Noah Johnson the ability to get to the edge.
Johnson with that great speed made them pay. Handed off again. Out of the 41, that's Waller. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary. Some of the important numbers and plays from the second half here. Alcorn State really getting their ground game going. Touchdown and a field goal accounting for 10 unanswered points. And then this was the big play that took the momentum back in favor of the Aggies by Malik Wilson. Longest kickoff return in bowl history. And that's where we are right now. You know, it's interesting, guys. Roddy was telling us about the alphas a little bit earlier. And does it make me, Thurgood Marshall was an alpha, the first ever
African-American Supreme Court justice. Does it make me an honorary alpha if I use his name as an alias when I checked into hotels?
No.
Jay, no?
No.
Dusty, no?
No, you can't. No.
Man.
Sorry.
Maybe my good friend Roland Martin will hook me up with that. See if I can work on that. Time out on the field. We'll be right back to Atlanta after this.
Well, we told you about the first black fraternity. Now it's the first black sorority, the Alpha Kappa Alpha. Some notable AKAs: Rosa Parks, Coretta Scott King, Maya Angelou, along with Wanda Sykes, Felicia Rashad, Toni Morrison, Star Jones, and her own Tiffany Green. It's interesting in doing the research. Honorary membership is the highest honor that the AKAs can give. Eleanor Roosevelt is actually an honorary AKA, but they have certainly made an imprint throughout history.
That's a good one there. Now, Roddy, where were the AKAs founded?
AKAs were founded at...
Ball start. Offense, 69. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Jay, it was at your alma mater, Howard University, the first one.
You said it on the air. I didn't say it.
That was a loaded question. I knew the answer when you asked it. Oh, ball at the 41. Fred McNair capturing his 5th consecutive SWAC East Division title this year. His team trailing here. Johnson with the keeper on the move. One guy to beat. Johnson striding, gliding, touchdown. $59 yards. And it's a 2-point game.
I hate to say I told you so, but I told you they wouldn't be able to do long drives down the field. They were going to need the big play, and the big play has showed up in a major way for Alcorn State.
You're right, Jay. They've gotten it and done it in chunks. Got an Aggie player shaken up on the field. That's number 24, McNeil.
Well, here's the key block, fellas. Come around, and we're going to kick out Wilder with Nigel Wood, the tight end. Good block down. Linebacker gets caught inside. Nigel Wood gets a kick out on Wilder. And then it's Noah Johnson's speed in the open field. Pretty sure I might have been able to run through that hole. Gaping hole for Noah Johnson. Man, is he a big-time playmaker.
And how about him finishing off the run? That could have been just a big gain for 30 or 40 yards. The great ones finish it off, outran the secondary defenders.
And they're going to go for 2 here, going for the tie with just under 12 minutes to go. And the Aggies are going to call a timeout. You know, yesterday during walkthrough, had a chance to speak with quarterback Noah Johnson. And as we were speaking with him, I looked at his left hand, and he was sporting a lot of jewelry. A high school championship ring from his high school championship. And he was wearing his SWAC conference championship ring. I said, you got 2 of those. So what's up with that? He says, I'm getting ready to put a 3rd one on there in this game. He was sounding extremely confident, and he's backing it up right now with his play.
I mean, he's a leader. What I really like about Noah Johnson, he just makes the right decisions with the football. He's got the athleticism to go around and hit you with the big play, but he's showing you the ultimate leadership, and it's on display here today.
Especially here in the second half, their ability to run the football. Deshaun Waller's had some big runs, and that's opened up the outside for Noah Johnson. And I think you're exactly right, Jay. He makes the right decisions. He makes the proper reads, and he really puts a lot of stress on opposing defenses.
So let me get you, Dusty. You're here checking out HBCU football game. What do you think, man?
I think it's been fantastic, man. I really do. I mean, this is as exciting as a game we've done all season long, and we got a championship on the line, man. It don't get much better than this.
Yes,
going for 2 here. Going for the tie. Into the end zone. Did he hang on to it? Incomplete. Batted away by Bethea.
Ooh.
Chris Blair says he caught it. He wants him to take a look at it.
And what a great read by Noah Johnson. Going to that secondary wide receiver. The pick didn't work.
Bad sign there as Noah Johnson grabbing his right hamstring a moment ago.
That's a bad sign.
And they play the replay on the big board, and the fans insisting that maybe it was a catch. There's another look at it. Wow, that looked like a reception, but we'll see on the other side.
The Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl on ABC is brought to you by Air Force Reserve. Start your adventure with the Air Force Reserve. And in part by Wells Fargo, helping more families share holiday meals.
One more look at the catch that wasn't ruled a catch. And no touchdown a moment ago. Chris Blair, the intended receiver, appeared to have it there, but then the ball coming loose must have control of it. inbounds.
Jalon Buffet, excellent job getting that right hand in there and just moving that ball ever so slightly to where Chris Blair did not have full control of the catch. That was about as close as it gets, Jay.
That is, because it's tough for me because I don't think he dropped the ball. He caught it. The ball can move a little bit when the defender comes out. Never dropped it, but it's an incompletion.
Yeah.
Close.
And we had a gimpy quarterback at the end of this. They run the sprint out, and he grabs his hamstring.
He overextended. When he threw the ball, he was in an awkward position and overextended that right leg.
They
and
took
tightened
him,
up his hand.
They took him into the tent, and he came out, and I think he's now back in the tent.
Hey, guys, let's remember last time Malik Wilson ran one back for a kickoff return touchdown. Let's see if they kick it the other way this time. Comes down to somebody else at the 24-yard line. It wasn't Wilson. That was Hollingsworth, the fullback, and he's brought down almost immediately. Let's check in with Kevin Agandi for the first time this week. Kevin, you ready for duty? All right, back here, first down and 10. Cartwright in the backfield. Bernard at quarterback on the toss. Great run support and a big hit by number 32, Cole, who came up. He's their leading tackler coming into the ball game. And now let's take a look at the Bowl Cup Challenge brought to you by Progressive. Well, that's what it looked like last year. The Big Ten going 7-1. The Pac-12 at the other end of the spectrum, 1-8.
Hey, what about the Fun Belt, man? The Sun Belt, the Fun Belt.
Hey.
4-1, pretty impressive.
Pretty good. That is impressive.
There we go. Bernard got rid of it quickly. 3-step drop to Bell. 6-yard gain on the play. Third down coming up for the Aggies.
Been really impressed today with this Alcorn State Brave defense and their rush defense. I mean, we talked about it all throughout the day. This North Carolina A&T team does so much running, and they've not been able to run the football today as we see Noah Johnson heading into the locker room with the trainer having his helmet.
Wow.
Very, very scary situation for that Alcorn State offense.
Yeah, Felix Harper is the backup quarterback for Noah Johnson, and he did get a snap already today, came in for a play. But being able to go the distance in the fourth quarter in a 2-point football game for the Black College National Championship, now that is a different story. There's a look at him on the sidelines, Felix Harper, a 5'11" sophomore from Fairburn, Georgia.
Now, they were working him in earlier during the season, and when he comes in, they run the same offense. However, they like what he does a little bit more with the running game. So when he comes in, they expect him to run a little bit more, whereas they give Noah Johnson the pure RPO option. It'll be more design runs for Felix Harper in this football game.
See Pat White talking to him right there. Well, Wells Fargo's celebration of service here in Atlanta featuring a food bank challenge. Fans were asking to bring canned goods to the game, which will be donated to Hosea to feed the hungry. Let's go downstairs to Roddy.
Well, Mark, this was stimulated and really put forward by the Divine Nine. This is the first annual celebration of service. And it's important because Hosea Feed the Hungry, which is now called Hosea Helps, was founded in 1971 by the Reverend Hosea Williams, who was a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. And this is something that the Divine Nine has told me they're going to continue to do on a regular basis, to get out in the community, to tell their story. The presidents, the international presidents are here, and they are proud of the service that they are doing.
Great work. Little receiver screen complete to Leslie, who picks up the first down, gets out beyond the 40.
I like the play design. They run the fake toss to the field, and they come back to the boundary with the screen that we've seen a couple times on third down from Zachary Leslie. And the rushing yards are staggering right now. 316 for Alcorn, against the #1 rush defense in the FCS. And how about the job Alcorn's done completely shutting down A&T's ability to run the football? Wow.
Little over 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter here. Hollinsworth in motion, the fullback. They come across the formation with it. Cartwright ran into some heavy traffic, really never could get it going. Shippey was the first one to bottle that thing up, along with Terry Whittington.
Love watching the tape on my man Sterling Shippey. Look at him getting penetration in the backfield. He's 5 yards deep in the backfield when he made contact with the running back, Cartwright.
It goes back to what I said. North Carolina A&T looks out of rhythm because they're just not used to not being able to pick up positive yards on first and second down running the football.
Noah Johnson back on the sidelines. We'll see if he'll go when they get the ball. 9:15 to play. Bernard, his counterpart, put his hat down and ended up picking up about 5 yards on the play. Whittington making the tackle.
That's a big part of their offense. A little lead draw that we haven't seen much of today. Nice job by 37 once again, Terry Whittington, shutting down his rush, retracing his steps, and tackling the quarterback on the draw.
Defensive guy, let me put you on the spot.
Yep.
Do you come after Raynard right now? This third down, obvious pass situation.
Yes, I think I'm gonna pressure Raynard and try to get the ball out of his hand quickly. One thing I would do, though, if I'm on the other side, I'm moving the pocket, because I've seen Raynard today many times much more comfortable when he's on the move.
Here we go on 3rd and 7. He's going to take off and got drilled and stopped at the 45-yard line. Boy, the Braves defense intransigent on that series. Ely making the tackle. And 4th down coming up for the Aggies.
Sterling Shippey on that tackle as well. Big stop. Nothing open down the field for Raynard, so he tried to just tuck the football and get what he could get. But the Alcorn State defense was up to the task. Big time stop once again. And man, as we showed those rushing yards, feels like this entire game has shifted to the way of the Braves.
There's Rivers punting to Ely, who calls for the fair catch at the 15-yard line. 7:39 to go after that 40-yard punt. Here in Atlanta, where the players play. 7:39 to go. We'll be right back.
Folks, kick off your Week 15 with Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. Before he tries to snap the Cowboys' 5-game winning streak, Andrew Luck went one-on-one with his former teammate, Matt Hasselbeck. Plus, Tom Brady takes on Ben Roethlisberger. Behind-the-scenes look at the wild finish they authored the last time they squared off. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. And I still can't see enough of the Miami Miracle against the Patriots last week by those Dolphins. This is Waller with a gaping hole. They gashed that front against the Aggies.
They found something. They found the crease between the interior line play, between the guard and the centers, running some stunts, and they've been able to gash that defensive interior line for North Carolina A&T.
Massive hole there on the right side. Darius Davis, Kevin Hall open it up, and you're right, this second half, this offensive line has been imposing their will on the A&T defensive front.
Sean Waller already going well over 100 yards. A little hand walk out to the 28-yard line and picked up another Alcorn State first down. 7 minutes to play. The Braves with 2 timeouts remaining.
See the balance there by Deshaun Waller as he fights to pick up enough yards to move the chains. He's hit initially shy of the line to gain, puts one hand down, posts up, and leans in for the first down. Quality run.
That's why he's the 2018 SWAC Newcomer of the Year. On the pass, tipped up and incomplete. Intended for Johnson Jr., but Deion Jones got in there and deflected it.
And this is when I can be a little bit overly critical. I think you're starting to establish control of the line of scrimmage, running the football on first down. You're starting to get Waller feeling it a little bit. I don't like the first down pass.
2nd down and 10. Ryan Stanchek, the offensive coordinator, making sure that Johnson has the play. They run it on 2nd down. Waller stopped up with a 1-yard gain, so it'll be 3rd down and 9 with 6.5 minutes to go. Richie Kittles, number 18 right there, coming up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
Well, they walk Richie Kittles down to the line of scrimmage, and he makes a big hit in the backfield on Deshaun Waller. And we were told during the week, he's not a big hitter, he's more of a cover guy, showing some tackling ability there.
Transfer from FIU. Time to convert here on 3rd down. Johnson double clutched and was almost picked off on the play by Wilder. Wilder has had a couple of opportunities here this afternoon to pick passes off, but hasn't been able to squeeze it. Which, Jay, that's why he's playing on defense, right?
Yeah. That's why he's a linebacker. He's done a good job in his drop coverage all afternoon.
He did. I want you to watch Noah Johnson. Now, I noticed this. He's hurt. Watch, he can't open up a run. See how he's limping right there?
Oh, yeah.
Regular Noah Johnson's going to take that and maybe run with it. That hamstring's really bothered him, so I give him a lot of credit for just being out there and being the tough guy to try to will his football team to a victory. But you guys are right. Wilder, boy, he dropped that one, hit him right in the hands.
Here's the punt. McCullough. And back at the 26-yard line, Leslie with the catch. A 46-yard punt. The Aggies trying to hang on and make it 2 in a row in this game against the Braves. Welcome back, everyone, to the Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl, part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Let's go downstairs to Roddy Jones.
Well, Mark, we were told by the coaches of both teams, really, that their teams are packed with Kappas and Qs. So let's talk about the men of Omega Psi Phi. Prominent members, Michael Jordan, Langston Hughes, and North Carolina A&T alum Jesse Jackson, amongst others. Shaquille O'Neal, Steve Harvey, and our own Stephen A. Smith are bros as well, and the Q Dogs have come strong. They're going to need all the Qs on both of these teams to help them finish out this game for both teams if they're going to win.
Yeah, regardless of fraternity affiliation, it's time to get this thing together. Boy, some hard hitting. Guys are putting a hat on each other. Wow. Jermaine Martin, number 30, got rocked but kept going to pick up 7 well-earned yards. We need to hear that.
Some championship pad popping right here.
Listen to this, folks.
The term is what, throwing leather? When you hear a sound like that, you know it's not leather.
Second and 3.
That's pad on pad.
That's pad on pad. That's fiberglass on fiberglass. That's some hitting.
Cartwright with the run. Sets up a 3rd down and short.
You quarterbacks would know nothing about that.
Yeah, Jay.
That's why we play quarterback.
Looking all clean and pretty. 3rd and 1. Bernard going to try and do it himself.
Second effort.
Oh, boy, he rolled off the end of that line, and depending on the spot, looks like he was actually able to pick up that 1st down.
Your boy Sterling Shippey got underneath the center and pushed him up, raised him high. As a quarterback taking a QB sneak, you cannot get elevated high. He was raised high and barely got that 1st down.
Leg drive.
He got the 1st down. Here's Cartwright. If you remember, we told you a little bit earlier, Marquell Cartwright and Lamar Renard, a couple of guys from High Point, North Carolina. They've known each other since the 9th grade in high school, played their grade school football together, and high school football together, won a championship, state title, and looking for another win for their school in this Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl. It'll be their 3rd in the last 4 years. Renard, Cartwright, close to the 1st down. Let's see where they mark it. Wow, they're going to give him a very fortuitous spot right at the 1st down marker. With under 4 minutes to go, fans tune in to the ESPN app for the postgame trophy ceremony presented by Capital One immediately following the game.
I like the play call right there because even though it's not a run, it's boot action. We've seen Renard so much better outside the pocket, and he has an outlet in the running back right out in front. He can either run that or he can make the easy pass where there's no harm and get quality yardage. I really like the play call and execution of the A&T offense.
Hollingsworth in motion. Pass complete. Now to the 35-yard line, that's Zachary Leslie. A 19-yard pickup and a missed tackle by Brady Smith on that play.
And we're starting to see why Lamar Renard wins. He's had his ups and downs in this game, but when the game's on the line, crucial, got to pick up a couple 1st downs to hold on to the lead. He delivers with the strike.
Hands it off to his tailback. Martin on the carry, and Alcorn State with only 2 timeouts remaining.
This is where you milk the clock. They snapped that ball with 28 seconds left. I understand you get excited, you make a couple of plays, and you want to get that extra touchdown. You got a 2-point lead, and all you need is a couple more 1st downs, and this game is over. Hurry up is not the way they want to go right now.
And did not force Alcorn State to call a timeout. You're going to snap it that quick. They didn't call timeout, so they saved one.
Johnson hoping for another opportunity. On 2nd and 9. This time they snap it all the way down to 3. And nowhere to go from Martin. And now you would think that Alcorn State would call one of those 2 remaining timeouts. And they do.
You talked a little bit about the tandem of Marquell Cartwright and Lamar Renard. One thing I really like about Marquell Cartwright, he was the understudy to Tariq Cohen for 3 years. He's a really good football player, played his dues, and now he come out here and he's elevated his game in his senior year, getting over that 1,000-yard mark. And you know Tariq Cohen is sitting there watching this game on pins and needles right now, trying to see if his boys can hold on.
The fact that he waited for 3 years is a testament to his patience. Well, our Week 15 Monday Night Football matchup is an NFC South battle in Charlotte. Drew Brees and the Saints clinched the division Sunday, but now look for home field advantage throughout the playoffs, while Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, and the Panthers are desperate for a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and available on the ESPN app, so you can watch the game anywhere. And Cohen here on the sideline. Actually, just playing.
If I'd say he's got a big game tomorrow against the Panthers, he better not be here in the ATL.
This is the Black College National Championship. You rent that private jet and you come on through.
Biggest play of the game right here. Crucial 3rd and 11 for this Alcorn defense.
Renard with plenty of time. Fires. Caught at the 22-yard line by Hicklin.
Big time.
Huge conversion. A 14-yard pickup.
Big time. Poise in the pocket. And what do you say, Dusty? You have to start off having a pocket. But look at the poise there. Sits there, goes through his reads, clean pocket, delivers a strike. That's why Lamar Reynard continues to win.
Protection, protection, protection. Something they haven't done a great job of all day, and it's credit to the Alcorn defensive line for the pressure they've been able to get. But the offensive line stood up, gave Reynard the time, and he found his target for the biggest play in this game.
On 1st and 10, hands it off to his former high school teammate Cartwright. Approaching 1 minute to go, and
I'm not running any plays.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why not taking a knee.
Let's check in with Kevin Agandi. All right, Kevin, as Reynard comes to the sidelines, let's go downstairs to Molly for more.
Well, Mark, let's just remember what we talked about at the beginning of the game. Sam Washington came up to me before the game and said that Reynard felt like he had something to prove today. He was upset that he went from 2017's Offensive Player of the Year to now not even making the first team in his conference. So you can tell he has a fire in him. He's been a leader all day on these sidelines, telling his team, no matter what happens, good or bad, we need to win this game. You can see him willing his team to a win.
Yeah, great way to come full circle in a matter of speaking. He actually played in this game 4 years ago against Alcorn State.
This should be a knee. Without question. They should not do anything but snap it and take a knee.
I think only bad things can happen. Otherwise, Renard 18 of 30. Hands it off to Cartwright. And Alcorn State with no timeouts remaining, looking for their 3rd Air Force Reserve Celebration Bowl title in the last 4 years, as we take a look back with the Air Force Reserve drive recap. This was a huge and pivotal part of the game. The kickoff return by Malik Wilson. Some 77 yards later, that snatched the momentum back in favor of A&T. Rebounding from that muffed field goal attempt.
How big was that? Those were the only points for North Carolina A&T in this second half. So,
and you know, we were talking with Coach Washington, beautiful national championship trophy that is making its way to the field. We talked to Coach Washington this week. He had 3 keys to win a game. Number 1, stop the run, which they have not done today, right? Okay, number 2, protect the football they have, and number 3, win the kicking game. And it's we focus so much in football. I do it, and everyone does it. We focus so much on the offense and defense, and it's almost if we forget about the special teams game. Special teams been huge for this North Carolina A&T team this year, and it was the biggest play of the day with that Wilson kick return for a touchdown.
Reynard and Sam Washington, the brain trust, respectively, embracing
This one is cooked, glazed, and sliced as A&T will defeat Alcorn State 24-22. As we take a look at today's Capital One Player of the Game, Lamar Reynard, the victorious quarterback for A&T. Threw for 18 touchdowns during the regular season. And a couple of touchdowns today, was 18 of 30 for almost 300 yards.
One of the winningest quarterbacks in FCS football history, winningest quarterback in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference, playing his final collegiate game here on the national stage. When they couldn't run the ball, they counted on his leadership to will them to this victory.
Good day for the Omega quarterback.
And how about this senior class and the legacy they're leaving at A&T? 41 wins now on their career, 3 MEAC titles, and their 3rd HBCU national championship. That's leaving a footprint, that's leaving a legacy at that school.
I like what the coach said about it. He said, talking about this class, we're going to miss you on the field, but you will definitely be remembered for what you did for North Carolina A&T State University.
Let's go downstairs to Molly McGrath for more.
Mark, I'm with a very emotional Lamar Reynard, and you told me that it wouldn't really hit you that this would be your last game in this uniform until you hoisted up that trophy. You are about to do that. What is going through your mind right now?
All I have to say, man, God is so good, man. We went through so much as a team, and personally, I just went through so much this year. A lot of people counted me out. I even counted myself out. But God, man, God is so good. And I just want to say thank you to my fans, the coaches, the players. I love y'all boys, and I'm glad we could go out on top.
Coach Washington told me before the game you went into this one feeling like you had something to prove. You had a chip on your shoulder. What was your mentality going into this one, and how did that translate onto the field?
It just all year, man. A lot of people, like I said, counted me out personally. And my teammates, they stood behind me. My coaches stood behind me. My family stood behind me. And this is a great feeling to go back-to-back Celebration Bowl champions. God is good, and I'm going to keep saying that God is so good.
Back-to-back national champions. What does that say about the legacy, especially of this senior class?
Man, my guys, man, my senior class, we fought so hard every single day in practice, in the film room, in the weight room. I'm so proud of my guys, and I'm glad that, you know, we could go out on top.
Congratulations on the win. Go celebrate with your teammates, Lamar.
Appreciate you.
He understated the fact that he played through adversity, talking about a concussion at one point, kidney stones, a groin injury, and he's our game MVP. The senior class will be remembered. They go 41-7 and another national championship. For Dusty, Molly, Roddy, and Jay, I'm Mark Jones. So long from Atlanta.
That's some real emotion.